Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Marine Corps. Hoorah.
Right.
I hope everybody got their favorite color crayon.
Wombat.
Hello, gentlemen.
Wombat, you made it, dude.
I did.
Great to see you, man.
It's good to be here. Sorry. Getting text messages.
Yeah.
It's really inappropriate.
It's fine. We'll just wait. Whenever you're ready.
Well, it's from
hit the countdown timer again. It'll be fine.
No, I'm here. It was from my wife and Minibat. So
don't you live with them? Can't they just yell?
They're on the other side of the door.
They're not allowed in the room.
Yeah, Tiny Bat is yelling right now. I'm surprised you can't hear her. She is not happy, but
wow.
Yeah, so
all right. I like
good to
it.
have
It's
you
kind of
though,
like
man.
Batman, but you put the bat after. So you're Man Bat.
yeah.
Wombat.
Well, there's
Man
Mom
Bat.
Bat. You know
Bat.
that. So
Yeah. She's a fan of the show. Hello,
she's
Mom
watching, I'm sure.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's right.
Gonky.
Yes,
You
sir.
survived your 1 day of drill.
I did. And dude, I mean, this is better than a Christmas bonus, is all I can say. I love
Yeah,
it.
it's as good as cash.
That's right. It's just, well, here in my house, this is worth a lot of money. So
Wombat, were you on the show? Well, you didn't see. Have you seen the Gonky Bucks?
I think you showed it to me on your show, actually.
redeemable nowhere, but they're nice.
Yeah. Well,
It's like IOU.
have the same value that you do, my friend. So it's fine.
Wow.
Pretty
Wow.
much. This represents my actual bank account ability right now. I mean, it's pretty
Yeah.
much just
Secret
monopoly
Service
money.
is at the door right now
Yeah.
trying to
Pretty
That's,
much.
get in.
that's an IOU, sir. That's as good as money. So
It's a good one, man.
it is
Yeah.
money.
Yeah. Well,
Mover.
you also got a shirt.
Yes, I did get a shirt. Yeah, man, it was nice. How long have you been storing these things?
Well, that's a good point. Stop sending me stuff for Gonky.
Well, Gonky needs to get a P.O. box.
He's
I
got
have
one.
one. Just send
Oh.
it. Send any question, to that. And
Wrong side.
What were you pointing
Wrong
at?
side.
listen,
microphone?
on my screen, it's here. So
he
on
was
your
pointing
screen,
at
is it
you.
here?
Wow.
Don't point at me.
Wow. And like I say every time I'm on, I just feel bad for all the viewership Joe Rogan's losing because of you guys and the professionalism
And Monday Night Football.
and Monday Night Football. Nobody
They
cares about
lose. Well, that and ESPN can't get their act together with YouTube TV.
Our $100 million contract should be along any moment.
I'll just take $100 to be honest with you at this
Yeah.
point.
He's,
Just point the
got it. He's got it.
Yeah,
He just showed it to you.
YouTube was like, here you go.
Yeah.
It's
the
better
best
than
we
a
can
silver
do.
play button. It's a Gonky buck.
Oh, yeah.
And
man.
it's had a mounting hardware.
Yeah, I haven't figured out where I'm gonna mount that bad boy.
Yeah. I handed the mounting hardware to Gonky and he's like,
I-
this ammunition?
I thought
There's a bullet?
Like, bullets, dude. What kind of bullets are these?
I can't hold them up because we're going to get demonetized again because YouTube for sure will think. If Gonky thought it, YouTube AI will for sure think it.
Yeah,
We could have a whole
So-
channel as like YouTube AI Mythbusters where we hold things up and see if we get canceled.
What are the odds?
You guys do need more channels. That's for
I'm
sure.
good, dude.
More podcasts, really.
More
We don't have enough. People don't have enough venues to hear our opinions on things, as uneducated as they are.
For me, dude, it's just Monday nights, man. That's all
Do
I can
your
handle.
research is our tagline
Yeah,
that people give us.
Yeah.
pretty much, man.
Why don't you do your homework?
Mover, how are you, sir?
I'm here.
You're cleanly shaven.
That's true.
Sadly.
Sounded weird, but
It does sound a little personal,
yeah.
Yeah.
but I'm good. Wombat, you are also cleanly shaven, it appears.
No, this is a couple days actually.
Oh wow. Look at that.
Yeah. So
We've never seen you with a beard.
no. It's because I don't know. I just don't do it. So
Oh, that's too military, man. We gotta
Well, he is a
professionalism.
El Capitan.
professionals.
He flies every 3 days, so there would be no time for him to grow such growth.
That's not true this month, but I needed a break from flying. I had too many trips that were intense. I needed some mental break. So,
Yeah, dude, you met a famous person. Oh, sorry, a famous person met you.
No. Yeah, that was
And
pretty
followed
cool.
you.
He did. He followed me, and
Can you tell us about it?
there wasn't much to tell. It was we were doing where were we going? Newark and
Oh,
back.
God.
And yeah, would not recommend. One
Like
star.
combat.
This was before they started cutting back the flights too. So, and flew with the guy, a Navy guy, great dude, F-35 guy. Told me all about Fat Amy firsthand, and it's basically what we make fun of here.
Rapper knows about Fat Amy?
No, this is the FO. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So we were on our way up, and we had a mild emergency pressurization issue, but we handled it. It was kind of funny. We were just chatting as we do, climbing up, and it got really quiet in the cockpit. And like I'm mid-story, and he's like, "Dude, it just got really quiet." And I was like, "Yeah, it did." And I looked, I'm like, "Well, the engines are still running." And he goes, "I'm not."
Good.
He looks at me. He's like, "Bro, before we get into this," referring to whatever is happening with the airplane, he goes, "What did the Hawkeye do to you that like your mental state when it gets quiet like that is you're like, still got motors," like, and I laughed, and I go, the funny part is it's not just the Hawkeye, it was also the Hornet, the T-45. Like,
I was
it
gonna say, I
every
feel
plane
like
I've ever
that's
flown.
every aircraft. I've never, if it gets quiet in especially as a helicopter pilot,
Yeah,
I'm worried.
yeah, because your fans right there. So, yeah, so we had to deal with that, and it was actually really cool because on the ground before all this, you meet him. He's like, "Oh, you were Navy," so we knew some people. He knew you, Gonky, or knew of you. I don't know.
Everybody.
Really?
Yeah.
It's probably all bad.
You're notorious. And then our lead flight attendant, she came up, and like I wear a lanyard that says Navy because I don't want to explain my landings to people. So I figure that does it. And she goes, "Oh, you're Navy?" I was like, "Yeah, he is too." She's like, "I did 11 years as an AE." And I was like, "Oh, that's
wow.
awesome. Yeah, I'm the Ike." And I was like, "Oh, that sounds horrible." And she's like, "It was." And I was like, "Cool." But she's actually getting her ratings now. She's working on becoming a CFI as one of our flights. And so it was really cool. Like, it was one of those, like, did we just become best friend moments,
You had a whole Navy crew, basically.
Yeah, it was really neat. And so then we dealt with this pseudo minor emergency, and I filled her in on what was going on because they felt it in the back, because cabin pressure got higher than normal. And I was like, "Well, I have you. Can we set up a bathroom break? Because there's too much coffee." And so we did that. And when she came in, she's like, "You're never going to believe who's on the plane." And I was like, I mean, probably not. No, I'm surprised when most people fly with me, but who is it? And she's like, Wyclef, like the rapper. Like, and I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Is he?" I mean, I grew up listening to his music, and like, I was like, "Is he a good dude?" And she's like, "Oh my God, he's so nice, like nicest guy." And I'm like, "That's awesome." So I don't know why I said this, but I was like, "Well, you should probably have him come up here, after the flight." I don't like, dude, things just come out. Like, I don't. So we land in Newark, and FO and I were chatting about something. So we were a little bit slow on opening the door, and then we opened the door, and he's standing there. And I was like, "Oh," and he's like, "Hey man, great flight. Can I come up?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, so he actually sat in my seat and did a little rap video that he then.
Were you still in the seat while he was there?
No. I got up because it's not the Navy anymore, mover. So
It
we
is
don't fly
Happy
like
Marine's
that.
birthday day.
So yeah, it was really cool. And then he posted it, and that naturally caused me to get some people that I'm sure would have never followed me before to follow me.
That's cool, man.
Because yeah, so
Now-
that was that.
Well, now you can start your rap career.
Yeah, I think that's long gone since I don't really drink anymore.
Did you ask him? Is his
You don't have to
private jet
drink
broke?
to be a rapper?
No, dude. No, I meant I would need to drink to be a rapper. You don't have to.
I just said you don't have to drink to be a rapper.
I probably would. But no, dude, he's a super humble guy. Like, gave me his cell phone number. I could text him right now. I mean, like, super, like,
See if he'll come on the show.
Not, you want me to? He probably would.
Get
Be
him
like,
to
"Can I
call
send
in."
you a link?" If there was
Gonky
a call,
will read his lyrics.
But yeah, I mean, like, such a, and I told him that too. I was like, "Hey, man, I was having kind of a rough day. I appreciate, you made me smile." Because a lot of times when you guys have had people on your plane, I'm sure, whether you realize it or not. But like you meet some of these people that I wouldn't say idolize is the wrong word, because I don't do that to anybody, but you meet people that like you've only seen on a screen or are famous, and they just they are horrible. Like, they're just horrible, dude. Like, they're just horrible people. And he was not. Like, he was such a humble dude. He was so nice. I mean, he was waiting. Like, I mean, like, because again, the FO and I were finishing sea stories, like, to the point where when the door opened, the lead flight attendant's like, "What took so long?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." And I'd totally forgotten that. I was like, "Hey, come on up." So
I will
nice.
guarantee you that Gonky has never had anyone famous on his airline.
That's a fair point. As soon as I said it,
do I count?
As soon as I said it, Mover, I felt really bad.
Yeah,
I said you guys, but I really meant you.
0% chance,
because it's actually technically impossible.
That's like
for
one of
anybody
those
to fly on his airline and be famous at the same time.
30 for 30 stories where somebody's down on their luck. They've, like the MC Hammer story where he spent all the money and now he's poor.
Yeah.
That's
We might get, there might be hammer time on.
What was that VH1 series after the what?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so it was, that was cool. And then, I mean, you guys have heard about the other flights I've done recently. That
I have two questions,
cool
Wombat.
different reasons. Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Was he wearing a cool hat?
He did. He had a hoodie on, didn't he?
Okay.
The video's up. I sent it to Mover.
Oh.
But I thought it expired. You sent me the actual video.
Did you call him Mr. Gene or Mr. Wyclef?
Hold on. Now I have to find it.
Did I send you I thought I sent you the video.
Did you send me the actual video?
I probably didn't send you the.
Sorry, there's 400 things that are way sadder in between now.
Sorry.
No, dude, you did not.
Really? Yeah, sorry. Go past all the sad stuff. You don't need to. We don't need to.
Yeah, we don't need to relive that. No, you never sent me the video, sir.
Here, there you go.
Feel free.
It'll eventually go through. But yeah, super nice guy. I don't know if he was wearing. I don't remember now, because I was honestly a little bit like, there was a flash, of like, because he's like, well, at first I'm like, "Hey, sit in the seat," and he's like, "Can I film it?" And like, I was like, "Of course." And then I thought to myself, I wonder what you're going to say. Because it's like, it's one thing when, you're like, "Hey, little kid, like, come up here and hang out," and like, "Yeah, sit in the seat." And like, Gonky with Airbus,
push
the
button,
the stick, push it, like, it doesn't matter. Right.
Right.
And then, but with him, I'm like, I bet he's got some followers. And if he posts the wrong thing,
go.
Ain't no AI here. This is the real thing. Back from Abu Dhabi, back from Abu Dhabi. Back from Abu Dhabi, back from Abu Dhabi. Back from Abu Dhabi with my pilots. We get back from Abu Dhabi. We just landed in Newark, baby. Safe and sound. Thank you, everyone.
That's awesome, dude.
Are we gonna get demonetized now? Is that copyright?
No, it's not copyrighted yet.
Not yet.
Dude, we could copyright him.
I was gonna say, submit the paperwork.
Back from Abu Dhabi, back from Abu Dhabi, back from Abu Dhabi, back from Abu Dhabi.
When you sent me this, there was no context.
No, I just
thought you
sent
had
it.
a man in your pilot seat there having a stroke. I heard this dude just rambling on. I thought this was.
Is this a hijacking?
I didn't know what. Context is important.
It is. And yeah, that's my bad. I probably should have explained. I just assumed.
Back from Abu Dhabi. Like he's a normal.
He's singing his song. It's his song.
I didn't know it was a song. I thought the man was literally having some kind of mental health.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
Wombat's gonna have to fight this man with the crash axe to get him out of his seat.
No. What is funny about it is I sent it to my wife first because I couldn't even 100% hear, and then her reply, and dude, I love the FO. I'd fly with him a million times. He's hilarious. Like he's a good dude. And my wife goes, "Thank you so much." And I go, and Gonky, you know my wife. And I go, "What are you thanking me for?" And she goes, "Thanks for not doing this like your dumb FO did." And I was like, yeah, that one was rough. That he even said it after. He's like, "Yeah, I probably shouldn't have." He's like, "But whatever, dude. It was cool, you know." So it was
Man.
it was cool. I will say,
I think
like,
you guys handled it well.
It restored my faith in a little bit of humanity because, like I was getting at, these people that we see on a grand stage, right? You never know who they really are as a human being. You know, you hope for the best, and that's what I've told him. Like he seems like a genuine guy. I mean, I'm sure he's just like the rest of us, right? Except for you, Gonky. Everybody on this planet, except for Gonky, is the hero to somebody and the villain to somebody. So I'm sure he's a villain to somebody. But I will say, from that interaction, it was super cool. It made my day. I needed my day to be made. It was awesome.
Well,
so
he was just excited that he was back from Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I mean,
but
he obviously did not
was
have a great experience in Abu Dhabi and was happy to be home.
Well, maybe he did, but he still
I had the same
home.
experience when I came back from Balad.
Yeah, like, so he'll make way more money off of that than you will, though.
Yeah.
So,
well,
but yeah, so it was a cool. You guys know, sometimes you just need a smile in this world.
Man, you need a pick-me-up.
Whether we're talking about personal life or you're talking about the airline industry, like you just need to smile sometimes because things are they're just not going your way. And
right.
That was a good one. That would put a smile on my face if I was.
Yeah, it was fun, man. And I mean, think
stuff.
about it, dude. You got a guy who's world famous. He's got over 2 million followers on Instagram. He's all this, and he goes, "Hey, man," he goes, "You're a great pilot. If I ever have a question about a plane or something like that, can I have your number so I can text you?" And I was like,
"You were gonna get the most random stuff at 2 a.m."
I go, dude, I don't know if I could help you, but I could get you in touch with people that know things about planes. And he goes, "Good enough."
Just direct him to this channel, man.
Yeah.
You learn everything. Like it's all factual. Everything.
Every word a fact.
Every word is basically aviation.
Yeah.
No, don't do that because he's gonna watch me, and I'm gonna end up with like a diss track against me. Is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but dude, that's the ultimate. That's
Engagement.
Then I have to get into rapping to defend myself, and I have to diss track him, and now I have a whole new career I didn't even want.
Yeah.
So here you go. You know what? I'm gonna
another podcast.
It's right here, right? Okay. So I wrote him. I was like, "Hey, I'm literally talking about you on a podcast right now from our flight, talking about how great of a guy you are." He writes back. This is him. He writes back. Okay. He goes, "Hello, my bro. Just got to Texas from Brazil, sending positive waves your way. Blessings." Like
Back
that's just
Brazil.
Dude. From Brazil.
That's a new song.
He's a genuine guy, and I like that there are genuine dudes in this world, genuine people.
Man, he travels a lot.
Please, Mr. Wycliffe, I'm just joking. Okay, first of all,
yeah, he understands that,
That's
dude.
Cool. We are here for the diss track.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I 100%. I can't wait for that, actually, dude. But yeah, so it was really cool. That made my day, and then I think you guys have already talked about the other flight I did. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, was it as cool as flying a helicopter?
No, it was the Pearl Harbor one.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh yeah.
We talked about that.
We did not actually on the show because we were waiting for you.
Well, here I am, and tomorrow's Veterans Day, so maybe we'll bring that up later, so I don't hijack the whole show.
Yeah, let's save that.
Yeah,
I want to show Gonky my flight from. I did fly this week. I'm not a penguin.
Somebody has to. So this isn't it. By the way,
you can't do two things at once.
It's still me.
So this isn't me flying. The instructor's like, "Let me show you something." It's like, okay, what's this?
Yeah, I had an instructor say that to me once, and we
Watch
landed
this,
at
dude.
2,500 psi.
Editing's a little choppy because it was widescreen, but you'll get the idea. He's like, what happens here if the engine fails and I need to land?
Is it supposed to slide like that?
It just seems so sketchy. It's a frozen lake.
Yeah.
They don't appreciate the awesome.
No, it's awesome, but it's sketchy. Like I look at that, I'm like, yee.
Yeah,
That's what happens if the engine fails.
But it was the fan on top was still spinning, so that's what I don't understand.
Well,
How did the engine fail if the fan?
There's
For
a,
us,
a
not smart
clutch.
people.
there's a clutch.
I'm
Engine
a
fails, the
PDK
clutch
kind of guy.
engages.
Talk to me in PDK. How does that work?
What is PDK? Porsche? So
Double-
the clutch
double
engages, and
Happy
then
paddles.
you don't double clutch like you should. Clutch engages, so now you've got just the spinny thing on top. So you reverse the airflow, you load up the rotor,
Lost me.
you load up the rotor using physics, and
Dude.
that is, and now you've got energy in the rotor. You turn potential into kinetic energy,
Yeah.
or vice versa, depending on what your power state is or what your how speed and altitude. And that's what he did.
And you catch
Is it good that he slid like that, or is that bad
Yeah,
for
it's
the
fine.
aircraft?
No, it's
Okay.
fine.
I don't know. I don't
That's
know how
fine.
Who
much
is
this
that?
good.
That is a turbine, right?
Yeah, it's a C-20
Okay.
Rolls Royce.
I,
Well, now
I
it's
think
Rolls.
it's a good looking helicopter, man. But I just, man, I like things
Yeah.
with wings.
Can I ask a
It's got
stupid
wings.
question?
Those are that's
Another stupid
4 of
question.
them. Yeah, it's got twice as many wings. Go ahead. What's your question?
As somebody who doesn't know anything about helicopters with my one flight in helicopters, but I do know what cool helicopters look like. And one of my favorites is the Little Bird,
That's this.
right? Which is in Vengeance Flight. You should go check it out. I'm just kidding. I don't make anything to come on here, so I have to plug it somewhere. Is that what that is? That is basically a Little Bird.
That is an
with the doors on.
OH6. Now it's just a variation of that. They've obviously upgraded them over the years, but if you
Sure.
watched the like Black Hawk Down,
Yeah.
I mean that's
the same.
this is the OH6B, from the 60s. Like this was the Loach in Vietnam. They've obviously,
Gotcha.
it's like the Legacy Hornet to the Super Hornet. They've obviously changed a few things over the years, but baseline.
So it's gotten worse if you're using that analogy.
Well,
You asked me to be on the show, just for the record.
I did. I knew what I was getting into.
Yeah.
Actually, I
okay.
did. Gonky did.
No, you
I'm
did.
glad you're here, man.
You actually
Yeah.
asked a while ago. There's proof.
Oh, okay. Hey,
just scroll past all the sad stuff. You'll see it in there.
let's talk for what the audience says.
I had a
about
follow-up question on that.
that. What's your question? Sorry.
Like, are you going to be flying that?
I flew it.
Like, no, on the reg.
I don't know. I'm flying it Wednesday. I got to go take that helicopter with one of the other pilots to go pick up the other helicopter that's out of maintenance.
Do they ever let semi-famous author / E2 / dudes who know Wyclef veterans?
You actually
go
want to
for-
fly in that thing?
So here's the thing. If I'm going to die in a helicopter, which I likely would, I'd want it to be in a cool one, and that's a cool one. So, I mean,
Well, then don't do it with me because I don't want to die in a helicopter.
well, you
Let
don't.
somebody else.
It's not mutually exclusive. Like, I mean, so I'm just curious. Like, I
If
don't.
you want to come out to Gulfport, we can figure it out.
How much would I vomit? Do you think in that? All
I
of the
don't think you
vomit?
would.
0.
I don't think
That looked like a
No.
vomit-inducing maneuver.
Well, we don't do that. That's the instructor showing us instructor things. We don't fly like that because
Did you see Mace got the ride in the Red Bull helicopter and then flipped upside down? And I was like,
she
oh,
didn't puke.
I would have.
Dude.
Hands down.
no,
At least
she's a-
once.
She's a Thunderbird.
Yeah, I'm not.
She also
No,
posted her
anyway.
wedding anniversary pictures, which is really gonna fire
Yeah,
up
it's-
some people.
Yeah, it's going to upset a lot of people.
That was a gorgeous gown. I saw those.
On the dude or
Dude, what the hell, Douglas?
Well, I was at a wedding this weekend. I'm in wedding
Doug,
thirty.
All
Doug,
Oh boy.
Doug,
Not that there's anything
have you
wrong with
seen the
that.
video? Doug,
All
have you
right.
seen the video of the guy smashing the TV?
Listen,
It's
no.
viral right now.
We gotta play. We
I
gotta
have
do some
not.
fan service. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Durzer says it's Wombat show. He does what he wants.
That's
There he is.
okay.
Renee says, Wombat, we missed you. Oh, cute puppy.
Well, go back.
I
Yeah.
can't.
Good
I
puppy
unstarred
picture.
it because if I don't unstar it, I will read the same comment 6 times.
There's another one coming up, Wombat. There's another one.
Okay.
She did another one.
Lucky
Got
Dad
some-
18 says, tuning in from Orlando, have some money. Dude, that might be your sim instructor.
Lucky. Thanks, man.
Joe says, welcome back, Wombat. The A team is in the house. See?
Well,
Andrew says, hello from Omaha.
Hello.
Ruptured Duck says, Gonky, did Mover remember the coin? Yes.
Yes.
Gonky, did Gonky remember the coin?
Yeah.
What coin? Oh, is it this one?
Hold on. Hold it up.
Is it this one? Oh.
I think so. There was a
this
coin
one?
in that bag, wasn't there? I don't know.
Uh,
I'll have to check.
Is it? And here, kids, is why you don't make Mover your postmaster.
I've got,
So
I've got a bunch. I've got a bunch of them.
is it
back
this
there.
one? I don't know. I don't.
We'll check.
We'll check, dude. It was
Thanks for
bad.
reminding me. I don't want Mover holding out on me.
Gundam Blade says the voice of reasoning in the house. Wombat.
I don't know about that.
I expect Rigaroo.
Oh, hey, man.
Just finished Project Virtus. Good for you.
Nice bike.
Great sci-fi. Also finished Treason and Vengeance Flights. Any chance these are going to be movies? Which one?
Ooh.
Oh, I'd say
Well,
there's a
now that
100%
Wombat
chance
is,
of anything.
is famous, now that Wombat knows a famous person, artist,
He could write the soundtrack.
why don't you text him right now and ask him? Say just, hey, we got a question on the channel. This book
Okay.
that I wrote. Oh, dude.
And
Oh, you're
and
gonna
no,
be-
this
This
is why, Mover, and this is why.
It's going to end up being a restraining order now. Mama says, I saw your channel early last year and you inspired me to shoot for an academy. It's changed my life, honestly. Thank you all for your service. Decided to donate on my birthday. Gonky Fund. Happy
Oh, wow.
birthday. So
Happy
you're
birthday. That's awesome.
The Marines, Llama, the Sheriff, and then that. Cool. Robert, hey, Robert. Blessed Veterans Day to you all. America.
Thanks. Yeah.
Renee says, Wombat, from a Navy nurse, thank you for bringing a fellow sailor home. So much respect.
Leave the.
That's a black
cute.
lab, dude. Yep.
Black Lab. We're going to talk about that later. We'll save that for when we have a lull in the Sean
100%.
McCow says, Wombat and Gonky, did you let your coffee cups get seasoned with years of unwashed stained?
Yes.
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 Also, Gonky's flight suits did the same thing, from what I recall in flight school. It's not even a joke. Dude, they
not-
need to know that for the first 3 years of your career, you thought you were going to wash out the good luck. And I had to live
No,
with
you,
that.
you ruined the Nomex.
Yeah.
Yes, two parts of that. It
I'm
ruined
pretty
the.
sure that what was in Gonky's flight suit from being in Kingsville, Texas in the summer had already ruined the Nomex.
That's
It was-
back when Febreze first came online. And I
Oh
was a
my
believer.
goodness, dude.
I was a believer.
Uh,
Probably why I was single for so long. But anyway,
I'm surprised it's not why you didn't have a roommate either, to be honest with you.
Midnight Oil 8913 says, Happy Veterans Day, gentlemen. U.S. Navy, USS Kennedy, and USS Guam. Welcome back,
wow.
Wombat. All right.
Nice.
I'll tell you what, since we're on this topic, even though, just for the record, Veterans Day is about the living.
it's true.
Oh yeah, no. Don't. That was not. I'm
But we're going to do it anyway. We're going to do it right now. You ready?
I guess.
Prepare yourself. I need
Prepared.
you to commentary on this.
Today, we have the honor of carrying U.S. Navy Storekeeper 3rd Class SK-3C Robert Garcia as remains below us. SK-3C was assigned to the battleship USS California, which was attacked in Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. It has been up until about last month where his remains were not identifiable, and through pretty amazing means, the Navy POW Association were able to finally identify Desmond is in the back with her family in row 16, escorting her great uncle home to Corpus Christi today. And it is a truly sad duty, but the greatest honor that I could possibly imagine as a Delta captain to be able to bring SK3 home. I did 20 years myself in the Navy, and I believe that, at least for some reason, this petty officer, naval petty officer, got this flight home from a former naval aviator. As a military member myself, and I'm sure there's plenty back of the back of this plane that have served. We all know when we sign up that we sign up knowing that we're giving, we're willing to sign a check up to including our lives for this country. We hope we never have to do it, but many men and women, unfortunately, have paid that ultimate price. So I just ask you to please, today, help me honor the sacrifice of SK3 Garcia as we land in San Antonio, and be respectful to the family members on board.
Nice, dude.
What wow. Wombat?
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have ever done anything like that. I had not.
Yes.
And like I've had human remains, right? I've done that. And Gonky, I know, you did the Keiko thing, so you were on it from the other side. But from the airline pilot side, I'd never been a part of it. And one of the things, really the only thing that I try to teach new first officers is like, get involved in stuff like the one-offs, because if you don't, one day you're going to be a captain and everybody's going to look to you like, how do we handle this? And this is an example of that. I picked up a trip just because it fit the schedule, and packed the bag. I'm sitting at home, kids are asleep, and the all of a sudden I get an email from the company like time sensitive, urgent. And I'm like, well, it's been a good run. I didn't think I'd last this long, and it was basically from the chief pilot's office, explaining to me like, hey, here's the story, here's a link to the story. But in typical, because they're dealing with a lot of stuff, like the flight number didn't match, and I'm like, this isn't even on my rotation. Like, what, am I rerouted already? Like, there was a lot of confusion, and then I realized it was just a typo. And I looked at my wife and I was like, she's like, do you need to look at anything? I was like, no, I got time. It's a 4-day trip. Like, I'm sure. And then I was like, oh no, it's leg 1 tomorrow morning. Like, so you're trying to get as much information as you can, and it's never enough. Get to work early. And I'll say, as pilots, we typically complain more than the average individuals because frankly, we have nothing else to do. And the company does this right. Like, they do it right. Like, and I've sent that out to everybody that'll listen. And they did this one right. And I'm proud of that I was a part of it. The FO is fantastic. Without him and the lead flight attendant, there's no way I could have put the amount of energy that I needed to for the family. I did not realize Allison was her great uncle. I mean, that's unbelievable to me. She's a surface warfare officer, lieutenant, based in Hawaii. Her husband's a surface warfare officer, lieutenant, based in Hawaii. And they had this opportunity to bring home, her great uncle. And I mean, Gonky, you could appreciate this for sure, but they had flown from Honolulu to Atlanta, had about a 2-hour connection time, and then we're flying to San Antonio. That was the flight we did. And then they were driving to Corpus Christi. That was their travel day, which sounds ridiculous. The reason I say Gonky, you could appreciate it. Her and her husband were with her 3-year-old child and her 7-month-old child. Yeah. So hats off to the dad who was in full dad mode, with all that. But yeah, they did the great honor guard here in Atlanta, and loaded her great uncle on. And then the background is me making a PA en route. We have the option to make that PA. But the main reason, I I did it for the most part was because we were going to do something a little differently when we landed. I wanted to get the family off the plane first. So that was a lot of what all of that was for, is essentially to keep people in their seats, you know, and give them a little heads up as to what was going on the boarding, but more so, hey, keep in your seats. And then as soon as I finished the PA, which I'll be honest with you, like, it's a lot like this show. Like, the reason we have the audio is because one of the family members recorded it, right? So, and then he sent it to other family members waiting in San Antonio. So, I have no idea. I'm assuming San Antonio set up the water arc. But when I found out I was doing this, I texted one of my ATC buddies here in Atlanta, and I said, hey, here's the situation. I don't know if you could do anything, but please let San Antonio know we're coming. So I don't know who made that connection, but I appreciate that it was done. We turn the corner. I see the fire trucks. We're taxiing in, and I immediately like get this overwhelming feeling. And I look at the FO and I go, I've never driven under a water arc in my career. And he's like, are you kidding me, man? You know, he has a civilian background. He's like, I thought all you military guys did. I was like, I didn't exactly know when my last flight was going to be in a lot of squadrons, so they didn't have this. Right. So like in my mind is, you know, I'm like, well, dude, like, I don't want to screw it up. Is there anything special we're supposed to do? There isn't. You just drive. It's pretty simple. So that was good. And then we got there. There was a whole nother honor guard there, which was crazy. And you know, so offload everything. I mean, it's just so emotional. And then it didn't really hit me. I kind of forgot about the PA. And then one of the family members, she goes, I'm so sorry. I'm a hugger. And I was like, it's fine. And she just hugs me. And I'm like, you don't have to hug me. You know, I'm like, it was a lucky landing. And she goes, no, I heard the PA. And that's when it hit me. I was like, well, one, how and what? And like, so I hadn't even heard it. And again, I sent it to my wife and I was like, please tell me I didn't screw this up. And, you know, she was like, no. And she's like, I just played it in the car and your son loves it and all this stuff. So it was such a cool opportunity that, you know, it really rocked me emotionally. I mean, to think about this guy, he was 23 or 24 years old when he died, you know, at Pearl Harbor. They told me that was his first time off the island.
Wow.
Ever in his life. So it sounds like he was born there, fought for the Navy, and died there. And then they basically, if you read the story, it's very interesting. I guess all the people, I didn't know this, but all the people they couldn't identify immediately kind of got, you know, like a unknown sailor, soldier, whatever, grave. And then over time, you know, through advances in technology and stuff, they've been able to identify these people. And he just got identified like 2 months ago. When you think about that, like, that's such closure. It was really cool. You know, it's honestly probably, well, other than doing one medevac flight once when I was an FO, where we needed to get a heart from Florida to Atlanta as quick as possible. And we basically got cleared after takeoff to go direct to Atlanta as fast as we wanted to. That was the coolest flight I ever did. Because the captain was like, hey man, don't screw it up. I was like, nope, I've been training for this. Just keep the seatbelt sign on, you know. But this one trumped that by far. It was really cool to do. I'm glad that I could be a part of it. And like I said, without the FO and the lead flight attendant, there's no way I could have put so much effort into it. So it was pretty neat. So.
All right. Well, let's
sorry, that was a lot.
Move on to the
No, that was cool.
Continue.
Super
Thanks,
cool.
Wombat. The continued sadness.
Okay,
It's been a rough week in aviation. All right. So before we start, we're not going to be like other channels. This is not a
the news or nothing.
Well, it's not that, but there are a lot of people that want to throw out everything they can, and this has brought out the best and worst in people. And so when we talk about this, we are doing this with the utmost reverence and respect for those that have lost their lives, and there are quite a few. And it hits very close to home because this is not this is not somewhere far away. This is right here in our backyard, affecting the people of the airline, the families, and the people of Louisville. I mean, the Kentucky has been rocked by this. So if you're looking for the latest and greatest footage on this crash, you're not going to get it. We have one picture that we're going to use to talk about it. Actually two, but I just wanted to get that out of the way because I know it's going to be, this is not one I'm looking forward to, because it's not one I wish we were covering, because it's awful. So with that said, November 4th, last Tuesday, around 5:13 p.m., UPS Flight 2976 was flying from SDF to Honolulu, fully loaded, max gross takeoff weight or close to it. And for reasons that are still not clear, it had the number one engine had a problem, maybe a fire, maybe an uncontained fire, separated at the pylon from the left wing. And there may or may not have been a compressor stall on the number two engine, which then put them in a unrecoverable situation. They crashed off the end of the runway. It has killed the crew members on board, which there were 3 at the time. There was a first officer, relief pilot. Sorry that's blurry. But there was a first officer, captain, and relief captain because of the length of the flight on this MD-11. And 14 people total on the ground. And then obviously there may be still some missing. And I mean, it's just rocked the entire community. It's rocked the UPS flying side, probably the ground side there too, their family, the United States, our transportation industry, because this wasn't a mishap that you just hear about on the news and move about your day. There are hundreds of angles of this to watch the deaths of these 3 aviators in real time. So we're not going to really show it because there's really nothing beyond that. We have one picture that I think we'll use as our thing because, and this is my soapbox, Wombat. I know you'll probably have a lot to say as our resident expert on airline stuff, and Gonky too. But my piece on this at this point is I use this picture because this is the last moment before it was completely unrecoverable. And what you see here is 3 aviators doing everything they can to save that airplane. It is the left engine, the number one engine, is gone. It's not apparent. In fact, it's on the runway at this point. There is video of the number 2 engine, which is the tail engine with a compressor stall, which put them in a situation that no one trains for and no one talks about, which is a max gross takeoff weight, dual engine failure after V1, which is decision speed for those that don't know. That's the speed. V1 being the speed where you had to have already decided you were going to reject the takeoff. If not, you're going. And so what I wanted to point out, despite the horrible outcome, these 3 aviators were doing everything they could. There was a bell going off, which is probably a fire warning or some other warning for the number 2 engine, because the number 1 was gone for 30-something seconds into the flight to the time that they crashed, according to the CVR. In some of these frames, you can see they're at a full boot of right rudder. This does not have any kind of yaw or load compensation like a 7.8 or a 777, so they're hand flying this. And I wanted to show that if you took out every power line, every building and stuff, this is textbook. Like, they are flying this as perfectly as they absolutely can. The aircraft attitude, and it's not wing low, it's not yawing. They did everything they possibly could. And unfortunately, it's the one of those times where it's not enough. And I think that is why it has affected all of us, because when we train, the outcomes we are given are, if you do the right thing, it'll work out. And in this case, it did not. And it's a very sad ending. FedEx and UPS have now grounded their fleet of MD-11s, and we don't know what the outcome of that will be. And that is what I have to intro on this topic. My heart goes out to everybody, the family, the airline. I know that a lot of airlines have stepped up to reach out to those at UPS, and I do as well. You know, I'm sure there's probably a couple UPS pilots who watch this show, and I cannot express how sorry I am for what we watched and for the loss of this crew, because they did what they had to do, and this wasn't the time. It just didn't work out. Gonky, I yield to you, sir.
Yeah, like you said, man, thoughts and prayers for Louisville and UPS. Terrible. Every time that we do our pilgrimage to Ohio, we take 65, go through Louisville, and I mean, dude, it takes you right past the airport. And, my kids, really my son, he's always straining to see all the airplanes sitting over there, because it's quite the view, man. And so, like, when I got the first, report that UPS had a plane crash, I was like, man, that's a very congested area. And it's just so sad that not only do we lose 3 great aviators, man, but there's there's casualties on the ground, property destroyed and people killed. So I mean you touched on a lot of things, man. And I this picture, like you said, kind of says it all to me, because when the news was first coming out, I'm like, it's got 3 engines. We train for losing an engine and continuing. And I know this MD-11 has to be certified to climb out with 2 engines. And just as like more of the news came out, it's just like, it's like the story gets sadder and sadder, in the sense that the deck was just stacked against these guys. It's unfortunate, but it has happened in aviation history where crews have done everything right and it still doesn't work out. This, as a pilot, and you guys probably agree, I try to put myself sometimes like in their shoes. What would I have done? And there's really nothing that I could have done. Like, if it was me in there's nothing I could have done, because a lot of times, when we train for an engine failure, I don't actually train for the entire engine and pylon to remove itself from the airplane, which would cause associated other failures and whatnot. And I don't know the MD-11, but more modern airplanes kind of rack and stack emergencies that you're having. But I mean, just the sheer confusion of like, we lost an engine. Why isn't this thing climbing? Like, what is going on? And they didn't have a lot of time, to process what was going on. And that bothers me the most as a pilot, because I like to think that I have the SA at all times. I like to think that I've got whatever's happening relatively suitcased. And, I'm sure there was so many things going on in that cockpit that it was probably overwhelming. But through it all, like you said, Mover, those guys kept they kept the airplane level. It didn't VMC roll into the ground. The only reason why it rolled is it hit something.
Yep.
So my hat's off to them for, I would argue they probably saved lives, dude, because if they mishandled it right away and the thing rolled over right away, I mean, all you got to look at the pictures, man. There's all kinds of stuff like right past the departure into the runway. So they did what they could to make it as controlled of a crash as possible. But dude, when you're loaded with fuel to go all the way to Honolulu, I think it's like 500,000 pound max takeoff weight. I mean, I think one engine's probably making 40,000 pounds of thrust. I mean, like I said, everything is against you. So hopefully, the investigation will reveal what's wrong. Like you said, they've grounded all the MD-11s. Similar crash back in 1979 with a DC-10 that ended up being a maintenance issue. And even if this is a maintenance issue, like you're not going to convince me that anybody did anything on purpose, right? So but whatever the issue is, I hope they find it, and they find it quickly, and it can be resolved. But yeah, again, thoughts and prayers to everybody at UPS. I got a lot of friends there, and the city of Louisville.
Yeah, real quick before that's a good point, Gonky. The maintainer in that DC-10 crash took his own life because they blamed him. And I think that's a really important point to make, is that maintenance is so important to a flying operation, and the maintainers are the salt of the earth people doing everything they can to do the right thing. I saw a horrible comment, people are like, throw maintenance in jail. Just stop, please. Yeah. Like, they feel no one feels worse, honestly, than watching their own airplane that they just launched out. So please have some compassion for the people that turn wrenches, because they are important, and that they're hurt just like everybody else, and we feel for them as well.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if think about it, if you're a mechanic working there in Louisville, and you just saw that airplane taxi out and crash like that, and you worked on it, I mean, 100%, you're going to be wracking your brain thinking like,
what could I have done?
What did I just do? And it might not even be your fault, but yeah, no. So
sorry, Wombat.
Yeah, Wombat, go ahead, man.
No, I mean, you guys really, you said it all. I just have 2 points. One, and I'm sure we'll talk about it unrelated to this, but I know right now air travel is not ideal. And I know this was a cargo plane, but I know that there's a lot of people focusing on how there's delays and how there's, everything seems like it's just not doing well in the air between ATC and everything. And I would caution people to know that, these 3 pilots left home that day to fly their trip like they did how many other times. If they had families at home, they probably hugged their families, or maybe it was too early, or maybe their kids were at school. Their spouses, they left just like they had done hundreds of times before, pet their dog, or maybe gave their dog an extra cookie on the way out the door, or whatever their habit pattern is, not knowing this was the fate that they were going to have that day. And so when you're traveling and you're walking around the airport, realize everybody that works in our profession is leaving something. I have this discussion with my son where, when I leave on a trip, he loses me, right? Because I leave the equation, but I leave everything, right? I leave the whole family. I leave everything. As he says, he goes, "You leave your truck." I go, "Yeah, I leave everything," right? That's what aviators do. And they do it for their whole career. And so have some compassion there. I think the maintenance point is a huge point. Nobody feels good regardless of what's going on here. I will tell you, 25 years now of flying, the maintenance personnel are why I'm still here. And, countless stories that you guys know, that I've said on this show, I've said on other shows, I've written about, where planes are falling apart around me. And it was the maintenance guys that kept those planes strong enough for me to be able to put it back on the ground. And without them, we're nothing, period. So anybody who tries to throw them under the bus, yeah, I have no sympathy for you. I'm not supposed to judge, but I'll judge for a second and say you're a horrible individual, because you don't understand the pressures they're under. Additionally, any one of us, and I say us as people that come on podcasts, not that I have a podcast, but that uses something like this to gain from it under the ruse that they have aviation experience. I think the only way I could describe that is there's a special place in hell for you for that, because people's lives have been lost. People's lives have been changed. There's a reason I frequent this podcast. It's not because I don't get asked to go on other podcasts. It's because I know when I come on here, we're never going to get into a discussion that is going to change my moral compass or make me feel bad about what we're talking about. I know it's always going to be done in the utmost respect. Mover, since the day I met you and you were doing the crash and accident investigation and doing those videos where you're essentially using your expertise and putting it into layman's terms so aviation enthusiasts can understand that side of it, I could tell you were different because of the way you did it. You didn't do it at all to gain money. You didn't do it at all to gain clicks or follows, or you never once, as far as I've heard, unless it's a joke from something I've said, ever said like, subscribe, and share. In fact, we've joked about how you won't say that. But we all know there's plenty of people out there that go the opposite end of this, and we're very quick to give their input. I have no respect for any of those people in a situation like this. And I think what individuals that listen to podcasts about aviation or watch shows or are genuinely interested in this, they need to see through the BS of those people and know that there are genuine people like the two of you that are affected by this and that will be respectful of it. And they need to weed through that garbage, frankly, because just because somebody flies an airplane does not make them an expert on everything aviation. There are plenty of things in this world that I don't know a damn thing about aviation, and you're not going to hear me talk about it. You're also not going to hear me or the two people above me make up lies regarding things that happened in their life just because they need a little bit of a click because there's nothing going on. So the respect I have for you two gentlemen with regards to podcasts like this is extreme, and I think other people need to know that as well, because I know you won't say it. The last comment that I need to make, and I don't know if any of the family members will ever hear this, but I feel bad for the wives, the spouses, the children. I'm sure there was a lot of, I don't know how many family members were involved just from these three pilots. I don't know those numbers, but I'm sure it's a good amount. I'm here to tell you, as somebody that does know a thing or two about aviation, you're going to live the rest of your lives seeing recounts of the darkest day that you could imagine, whether you're scrolling on Facebook or Instagram and there's clickbait or all whatever. It's going to come up. It's going to hurt again in the future. I can tell you, as somebody that's 25 years in aviation, your family member did it right. They did it right. I could tell from the one picture Mover put up, they were doing everything they possibly could do. It wasn't in their hands at that point. So not that that's going to be a consolation, not that that's going to make you necessarily feel better anytime soon, but I would want to know that if I was gone from this world and my son or daughter had to watch something like this in the future, at least if they knew I did it right and did the best that I could do with what I was given. And I'm here to tell you, and I will take a little bit of expertise on this, not because I know MD-11s, not because I've flown that plane, but because I've been in a lot of hairy situations and I've taught a lot of really hard things in simulators. From that one picture alone, your family member was doing it right. And you can hang your hat on that for what it's worth going forward.
Yeah. Thanks, Wombat. People are probably going to look at this and go, well, where's the expert analysis? And that is for the NTSB to determine. We've talked about kind of what's available now, which is more than likely it was a dual engine, some kind of failure where number one potentially caused the number two engine to fail, whether it's through debris. I've talked to MD-11 pilot, and they were talking about that was not an uncommon occurrence where, FOD from either motor could cause the number two, the centerline engine. It's not something I'm used to because I've never flown anything with centerline. Gonky, you talked about engine failure, severe damage. We actually do train for that. That is, at least on the 787, we train for the engine coming off the airplane altogether. It is a different training thing, but it's definitely something we train to. However, in this case, the numbers are based off of at least two engines. The numbers are based off of that. And I think from this point forward, it only gets harder and harder to watch. When we, in a year or two, when we're talking about the final report, or if I'm doing it on my channel, I think when you start talking the timeline, which the timeline already exists with a lot of ADS-B data. I mean, they didn't get very high. You're going to see a very tragic. It's just, you
can't go and you can't stop.
You can't
right?
go. You can't go and you can't stop, and you can't give up. And that's
right.
if nothing else, to Wombat's point, if you're a family member, which God, I wish you wouldn't. I wish you wouldn't be watching this channel. I wish you wouldn't watch this right now. But if you're a family member watching, you have to know that your loved ones did not quit. That picture and that everything there shows you the fact that they rotated, got airborne, flew it as far as they could. That is 3 crew members that did not quit. And I say 3 because I guarantee you the jump seater, an experienced MD-11 pilot, was doing exactly what a crew would do and trying to assist with quick reaction checklists and immediate action procedures and whatever that their airline has. That jump seater is part of the crew. And that, because they're not a jump seater, they're a crew. That's a relief pilot. Let me make that distinction, because another channel went out and said they had 4 jump seaters, which totally threw a wrench in it to the media and the public, which is the part I have a problem with. When you're going to go and spread misinformation just to be first, that's unprofessional. So, but that person occupying the jump seat as a crew member was part of this, and they were all, as far as I know, right, just looking at the picture, I'm making an assumption, but they were doing everything they could. And the outcome is tragic and horrific, but it also could have been worse. If you had been on a different runway, if they'd been going the other direction, there's a university the other direction.
Yeah.
There are so many more things that could have been way worse. But at the end of the day, I always say, there by the grace of God go I. I am not immune. Gonky, you're not immune. Wombat, you're not immune. We always, when we look at stuff like this, we hope that if it were to happen to us, that we could be judged in the same light, of what did we see at the time and what were we working with. So anyway, Gonky, got anything else on this, or Wombat? I'm sorry.
No, man. Like you said, there's so much video and stuff out now. I mean, like you said, a lot of assumptions could be made, but like all the detail stuff's going to have to be hashed out by the pros, man.
Yeah.
Let them do their jobs and be respectful of the families and the maintainers and everybody at UPS and you don't know how people are affected by this.
Well,
you never know.
Have they even found everybody yet? Right. There's right.
Know. It's pretty bad on the ground.
Damage is tremendous.
The community is going to be affected.
Right.
Just imagine, every time you look up now, you're thinking, is this it? But I would say, if you're wanting to know what you're going to do, if you're an airline pilot, talk to your union, reach out to the Teamsters, reach out to UPS, and see what help they need. Because that is a small pilot group, relatively speaking, compared to like Delta, American, United, and they're hurting.
Yeah.
So reach out, email us. I don't know if there's what we can do, if there's anything we can do, but we're happy to do whatever we can. But that's
yeah.
All right, let's talk about something less. Well, let's get the super chats that are relevant before we move on, because I don't want to keep picking at this scab. Let's see. Joe says, thinking about what you're saying, visualizing that crew, they had to know they were screwed but didn't give up. If it's me, I'm believing that I'm going to win until it's over.
100%. I used to say that we did a training to try to get, somewhat of a lighter transition here, but we were doing training in the simulator once back when I taught, and upset recovery and all that stuff that you guys have done, and it's now part of everything. And this one particular pilot just was like, and I was like, what are you doing? He's like, it's not recoverable, and it's in a simulator. And I'm like, I froze it, and I was like, dude, that's not how you should operate as a pilot. And he goes, you're telling me you'd keep doing it? I go, dude, I firmly believe that if I was in an Airbus and I saw the fuselage of my airplane out the window from the cockpit door back, I would still be trying to fly.
Yeah.
Like, that was how I was trained.
Yeah.
In the military, like you
don't give up, dude.
No.
That's not an option on the checklist.
No. You're gonna
controls releases though.
Well, that's a different story, depending on
That
the
is a,
plane.
that's a procedure.
That's a procedure.
That is you let go, dummy. You put me here.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry. I
That is
needed
the
some
plane-
levity, dude. We had to. I had
Yeah,
to.
no,
I
I
had to.
know.
We had
That
to
was-
laugh at something.
That is, in a plane like that, it knows that it's smarter than you.
Correct.
Yeah.
You are the weakest link. So.
Subi says condolences to all the victims of the UPS crash. As an aviation enthusiast, hurts to see. It hurts to see as a human. I think.
Yeah.
Like it. I don't think it matters. I
Yeah,
appreciate
if it
your
doesn't hurt
sentiment.
you to
Dude,
see this as a human, then you need to check yourself.
I mean, honestly, man, ever since, cameras are becoming everywhere and that it's good
Dash
and bad. Well, it's good
Yeah.
and bad, right? It helps investigations, but like, I mean, dude,
dude.
like the Jeju 7-3 thing,
Oh my
flying
God.
into a wall, like it's all bad. Like all this,
Yeah.
like I just, man, I don't know. Sorry.
Well,
Go
and
ahead.
if you think about it too, from the UPS perspective, their last crash was, I think, Birmingham. Was that the last one that they had? Or was that
MD-11, right?
I don't think it was an M7. But my point is, at night, middle of the night, not many cameras. The difference between something the world watches together and something that you hear a report on and maybe see the aftermath of, it's totally different. I mean,
Right.
you're watching your friends and family die in real time or on video versus, and for whatever reason, the media won't show somebody getting shot in the street usually,
But they'll show this.
but they'll show the
over.
over. You'll see.
It's because you're disconnected. I remember, I think it was my mom actually back when I was in flight school. Remember, Gonky, we used to do the day where the families would come out by the runway in T-45s, and I'm pretty sure it was my mom came because it was near our winging or something. And I remember, she had seen it at some point in my career, and she's like, "It's so crazy to look at the plane and connect that that's you."
Right.
Right. Because when we're in an airplane, it's just a piece of metal. It doesn't matter.
It's the airplane. It's not.
It's the
not
airplane,
you.
right?
Yeah.
And it's true. To see that it's tough, but
yeah. Crazy Pete says, pro maintainer here. Every one of us has heard about the 79 DC-10 crash. It's case study and not cutting corners.
Yeah.
I think what they were doing was accepted practice at the time.
Yeah, the normal procedure for putting an engine on took like 5 hours, and they're like, well, we can do it in 3 like this, right?
Yeah,
So I mean, they weren't on purpose trying to
No,
do anything
no.
bad. They were just trying to be more efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then John says, hearts and prayers to everyone involved. My heart also goes out to the first responder who were at the scene. And I talked about this with John on my other podcast. It is for the firefighters, for the people that they don't know how many victims there are, because I mean, how do you know, right?
Yeah,
you don't know who was there to even know who should be there, who's not, who needs to be rescued. I wonder about the long-term health effects from the soot and the smoke, because that oil, recycling or whatever
plant, right?
Petroleum, whatever that on the end of the runway, the fire, the debris. I mean, there was debris falling. It's going to be, that community is going to be, and especially being the mother base for UPS, I mean, that's, it's going to be tough for a while. Rob says no win scenario isn't something a pilot easily accepts. These guys gave their lives trying to save lives on the ground. They definitely did what they could. Renee says, Mr. Matson, that was beautiful. She's actually talking about the, this is back from when we were talking about the
Pearl Harbor.
PA. Yeah, Pearl Harbor. Crazy Pete says, I spent 2 years in Little Rock Air Force Base honor guard. Sometimes the simplest tasks are the hardest. Bravo Zulu Wombat. Alec, Aviation and Adventures. He's got a cool channel. Happy Veterans Day, Mover, Gonky, Gonk Man, and Wombat. Others that have served. Wombat, your slogan is our dodgeball team rallying cry.
Sounds like I need to.
No.
I need to get your dodgeball team some shirts. You got to reach out to me. I'll do that. Have a whole uniform thing set up.
Says, I love the intro to the show. Can you tell the story behind the intro? No, that's just the Finny Flight video that Newsweek put out. I was like, we're going to use that. You should know that story if you're a follower of our show. I'm very disappointed in you, actually. LeBrakes says, good job. I have a great uncle who lays at rest aboard the Arizona.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. And then Texas Skywarn Storm Chasing, thank you. Unless
Thank
you
you.
have something else, Doug finds it. And Midnight Oil says, love the Mover and Gonky podcast for exactly this.
Thanks.
Okay, lighter news. Air Force One had a flyover for the Commanders game. In fact, El Presidente decided that he added one more career from McDonald's fry cook to announcer. He actually did some play-by-play and color commentary on the Commanders game. But check out this flyover, man. I mean, Doug's got it queued up here. Check this out. This is from Air Force One, which is not nearly as cool as the ground view we'll get after this.
We will get to that.
Yeah, hit it. But that's the view from the wing.
Dude, that's awesome.
It's too high.
Big
His
airplane.
jet's really low.
Just wait till Doug's got it. I'm gonna wait for
Basically a ground
effect
effect right there, Wombat.
Here you go.
Dude, look at that, man.
Look at this with the flaps,
That's so cool.
dude.
That's a good looking airplane, man.
It is.
It really
That's
is.
a great looking air. The paint
Got
job,
the Erst in the nose. Oh no, I'm just kidding.
dude, the chrome. I love it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the cleanest classic 7.4.
Still too high.
Still.
You got another one, Doug? There.
Oh yeah. Look at this dude.
You could just.
He wasn't on it, right? He just told him.
I
I don't think he was on it, right? Because he was at the game, wasn't he?
think he arrived by helicopter. No,
Did he?
I think he was on it.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this was them flying to like Andrews or wherever, or was this at the Lions? Wherever they were, they did the flyover because he didn't meet him until the third quarter. So he did the flyover, got in the helicopter, flew him over there, did the interview. At the time, the
Yeah,
Commanders
I
were
would
not doing
assume he
very
was
well.
on it.
Yeah.
Do you think so? You know, as a transport pilot, do you think that Air Force One ever asks to do anything, or do you think like they're just cruising along? President's like, let's do a flyover of the game, and they just give the hey approach, we're going to do a flyover of the game, and like
It's probably a lot like that.
Oh,
It's probably a lot like
well,
that.
I mean, think about it. Who's gonna say no?
right? I mean, like if
Like-
you want to, like for any kind of heading change, reroute, is it like, hey, center got a request for you, or is
I
it,
have heard them on the radio,
Have a
and they're
demand.
very, very like. So I did a flight going up to, God help me, I think it was Newark again. I really had to stop going up there, and going through Washington Center, we heard them. You know, their call signs Air Force One, and I was like, wow, that's
Did-
crazy.
did
you
they
know?
just
and but
command
they
their
were
way?
super.
Stolen
They're
valor.
super respectful, right? Because they're Air Force pilots, right? So I mean, come on, it'd be now if it was Navy One, it'd be a whole different animal, dude. It'd be like, I mean, you know that it would be buffoonery on the radios.
Yeah.
It would be like,
Well, yeah,
hey,
because who would
Perez,
be
can we
the-
do this? Let's see if we
Navy-
can do this. Like, yeah,
Who would be the Navy pilot? It'd be a bunch of C2 guys or P8s.
no,
Like, it wouldn't be
you
fighter
don't-
guys.
dude. Well, these guys aren't necessarily 747 guys.
Yeah, but
from
it's
the
different
start.
though. We like our heavy pilots in the Air Force. You guys treat
Hey,
everybody
I treat
who's
COD
not,
guys great. Those guys
like-
are amazing.
They
like,
bring the
listen to
lobster.
What you talk about the helicopter guys? Come on, man. Y'all don't treat.
No, the COD
Listen,
guys
let's not
are
get
fixed wing
helicopter.
carrier.
Yeah, COD guys are fixed wing carrier guys. I didn't
Yeah.
say they
All
were
right, it's
P3
P8 guys.
pilots.
It's
That's
probably
not-
P8.
I
they would
just,
not be.
like I said, I just wonder, like,
There's
if
an
he's on
interview
board.
process. There's no way it's a P8 pilot. That's going to be the president's pilot.
I just wonder, like, he's on board off the cuff. He's like, be a great idea if we did a flyover. You know, it's like, hey,
Yeah, that's what I
Tell
want to
him.
believe.
tell
I
him.
want to believe that. I do. Also, Mr. President, not that I think you watch the show, but maybe you do. Give me a call. We'll talk about your flyover.
Well,
Maybe a little
also,
lower. A little lower.
I
A
would
little lower, a little faster.
imagine being in that cockpit. Hey, the president said he wants to do a flyover of the stadium.
Oh,
Gonky,
dude.
where's the stadium?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly,
Where-
dude.
where's the stadium?
Dude, they have the best technology. They could pinpoint anything, dude. Come on.
But that thing, it's like, dude, we need about 20 miles to turn
Yeah,
this thing
we need a
around.
run
So, like,
in.
I need a heads up on
No
this,
way,
man.
dude.
This
All
ain't a
the
fighter.
flaps.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And do you think
no
like
way.
the
You make
the
it
poor
happen.
Zamboni drivers doing cover, they're like, oh my gosh, what do we do?
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
No, they're probably the ones that told them where the stadium is, dude. Like,
You're
come right
right.
10 degrees.
not
Well, if only
F-15,
if they were
man.
Viper guys. Yeah, if they're Eagle guys, they don't look at the ground.
That's a good point.
But wait,
Well,
you know what?
are they
There
Eagle
no,
guys? Are
there
they
are no more
single-seater, or
Eagles.
they
There's no more Eagles.
For
are they
to
F-22
escort,
guys?
No, because there's no more Eagles. Not up
So are
there.
they Raptor guys?
No, they're the Vipers. That's probably
Well, Viper
DC
guys
Guard.
can do air to ground. Just
yeah,
fine.
they the
Yeah,
Viper guys
they're
know what
fine.
they're doing.
yeah,
well,
bring it
that's
left. Hold the
Yeah.
heading. 270.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's cool
man, that would
footage,
be
man.
it'd be cool. But seriously, Mr. President, just holler.
Just
Right
a couple
here.
tips.
He
You-
does podcasts. He has
you
done
and
podcasts in the
Wyclef.
past.
Give me a call.
Yeah.
We'll talk about your flyovers. I know a thing or two about flyovers. Your
Yeah,
pilots
just think,
may get grounded afterwards.
think
but-
of all the things we could convince him to do.
oh,
Well, Mover, I think you have some actual audio evidence somewhere of him
Yes, that's
sending
true.
all the fat Amy's to the bottom of the ocean,
Yeah,
restarting the
that's true.
F-22 line.
The Viper is best Viper.
You would be a 6-star general, the first.
A flying general, though.
Flying
I
general.
got to get a
Yes.
TX course, but not a hard TX course. Just like
No.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Yes. Yes,
That-
exactly.
I want the Iranian general TX course, where
Yeah.
it's just like, what would you like to learn today, sir?
Yes.
And
That'd be
or
so
Navy,
nice.
Navy, cat
Nice.
other. That's basically what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. that
Mover
is
just
true.
let it show up for them to show him where the plane is.
Yeah.
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 Walk me to the airplane and have it ready for me when I get in.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I love it.
All right.
Cool footage,
Well,
man.
Good for them.
good for them. Oh, dude, almost hit the in stream button. That'd have been bad.
I bet they were not expecting that was on their bingo card when they got that job.
Doing flyovers?
Flyovers?
Doing flyovers. No, the Air Force One pilots.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine doing that in blues?
No,
Yeah.
Nerds.
no.
Nerds.
This would be horrible.
Although, dude, they got the coat off, right? Like, while they're how can you fly in
So
the-
you're basically an airline pilot. That's what you
Basically,
guys are.
100%, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do y'all have a coat, Gonky? It's your
They're just
low-budget
getting paid
airline?
a tremendous amount less. That's
It's like kind of a wife beater with
Not than Gonky. They're making more than Gonky.
That's true. They are. They are. So for the Air Force One pilots out there, you're just like an airline pilot, making slightly less than most airline pilots, except for one airline. So it's okay.
I have a winter coat.
You're not the
sir.
bottom.
Yeah, but it's not like a double-breasted suit like our hat-wearing gentleman
No.
beneath us.
No.
You don't look like Sean Connery.
No
Thank you.
hats, no hats, no coats, just epaulets and a tie.
And just whatever shirt you found that day.
No, dude.
He wears the mover and
Velcro
Gonky
on.
show shirt.
Yeah, I will actually wear this shirt.
Yeah.
No,
Pack
just
of
the
smokes
normal,
rolled up into the sleeve.
the normal white shirt.
The normal white shirt.
Well, yeah, like every other,
What about Blue.
No, JetBlue wears blue shirts, right?
It must be hard to be a JetBlue pilot, right? Because like it's so easy to buy pilot shirts, and then one
here we
company's
are
like,
bullying
make 'em
airlines
blue.
now.
"No, it's fine."
Hey, speaking of bullying things, let's watch this video.
Oh, it's awesome. This is
Douglas.
cool.
Full screen, sir.
What's an F-50?
What happened to the music?
I don't know.
Looks cool.
Do we need music?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
didn't unmute enough of the things.
Yeah. So they're taking this thing to Dubai Air Show. Hopefully get some sales.
Well, they had to practice the demo first.
Yeah. This is a cool promo video.
Like
man.
a bit.
I want one. I mean, what's the payment plan?
Well, now you can do 50 years, so it's probably a little bit cheaper.
Can I do 0 down?
I don't.
Oh, that's a weird salute.
Visibility doesn't look all that
Dude,
great.
watch this
But
thing
man,
rotate. Look at the
look at the nozzles.
yeah, the nozzles
tilt
help
up?
rotate. Yeah,
Oh, tail strike.
they're a little diagonal.
Yeah.
That's close.
Yeah.
Oh dang, dude.
Rip the wanker off.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell you what,
mean-
Legacy Hornet can do the same thing, not even on purpose.
That's cool.
That is cool, dude.
Look at the
A
alpha
lot of
things.
papers.
Yeah. They need to get like the super high speed camera like they did with the Raptor.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Frame by frame.
Like they did a really good, like 200 frame per second camera.
They spent all their money on that airplane, so they can't get the camera.
This one looks good.
Yeah, it
I
does.
didn't see the rivets or anything. Oh, look,
Oh,
this
there
is
it
the
is.
first the internal bay. Look at
It
that.
is open. What do we got
Archer-
in there? Two
Archers and
Oh,
those
dude,
are
it's got
big
the wing.
missiles.
It's got hard points on the wings.
Whatever their PL-15
Yeah.
variant is, I don't know. I'm so used to the Chinese stuff. Look, there's the EOTs at the bottom. No, is that an EOTs at the nose?
I don't know, man.
I guess not.
Hey, is that an Airbus back there?
No, that's their Sukhoi, probably.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Yeah, the Super
Yeah,
Jet.
it does have an Erst on the nose.
Yeah. That's cool.
Look at that. Dude, that is a good looking airplane.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like the YF-23 a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the canopy goes the correct direction.
Yes, the canopy goes the right way. Man. Yeah. I'll take one.
I'll say two.
Yeah.
To get the merge.
Dang, man.
Gentlemen, your thoughts?
Yeah,
That's a good looking plane.
yeah,
Period.
that's awesome,
Yeah.
dude. I think it's cool watching the
Nozzles?
the nozzles. You know, when that thing first came out, I'm like, man, the vertical stabs are small. But the whole thing moves, right? Like it doesn't have a rudder. Like it's kind of like the horizontal stabs like move, right? The entire thing. So the entire rudders move, and then with the diagonal thrust vectoring, it probably doesn't need gigantic vertical stabilizers. But I think it's a cool jet. I have no idea underneath the skin like what it can do, but clearly very maneuverable, very powerful, and it's good looking, which pretty much satisfies.
Gonky, you knew about the Su-30, right?
Yeah,
The thrust vectoring on that, was that
similar.
When that-
Yeah,
was it mechanical?
I
Like
don't
it
know
was-
how it's actuated, man, but it is also.
But
at
what
an
I'm saying
angle.
is, I would be curious if, because I'm assuming this is digital flight controls and all that, if it's all integrated with the flight control system. Like if the jet just knows, I
Who won?
commanded this, I'm going to give you,
Yeah.
all of it, or if there's
Yeah.
some manipulation. with the
I would
throttle
I would be surprised if it wasn't like a full digital
fully
flight
integrated.
control. Yeah,
I mean,
With
there's
the-
just
with
so many
the
moving parts. Like,
nozzles.
that'd be tough to.
yeah.
That's a lot of. I don't know. Yeah, I agree. It's got to be integrated.
I
Like,
mean,
if
when
it
you
knows the limitations of every angle, and it's like, I give you this yaw rate to keep itself from departing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I think that takeoff kind of is a clue, because I mean in
Yeah.
the Super Hornet, in the regular Hornet, you didn't have to touch the controls; it would just rotate. But in the Super Hornet, you would rotate it. So in this airplane, like if they have to rotate it, the fact that I would imagine it's a command-driven flight control system, right? So like I want nose up, the jet's like, okay, I'm going to give you some stabs and some nozzle, right? That kind of thought process. So kind of along the lines that you're thinking of is, the jet just knows it's high alpha. Okay, mover wants to pull 99 alpha. There's only we'll give you all the stabs and all the thrust vectoring, and that's all we got.
Mhm.
But
I mean, so it's a vote. Your control input is a vote now. Because remember,
100%.
the stick is like
Yeah.
right in front of the the MPCD or whatever that
Right.
center screen is. It's
Yeah.
not a side stick or anything.
No. Like I said, dude, the flight control. I mean, this is the next gen from Su-30s that I have experience with, and the Su-30 flight control system was very impressive, and this is just the next iteration of that. So there's no doubt in my mind that the Russians have that piece of fighter jet technology doped out pretty well.
Yeah.
We talked about, it's got an Erst and probably some other stuff, internal weapons bay for stealth, and it looks like it's a stealthy design. But all the behind closed doors nerd stuff is anybody's guess at this point. And I don't know. So that they're taking that jet to Dubai, I think, to show its performance, and we might learn a little bit more of what it can do, like underneath the skin kind of stuff, as part of maybe a sales brochure. But I think even that stuff's going to be a little tight-lipped. And like we talked about, there's probably the export version that's going there. So I'm sure it's like still very capable, but probably not.
Well, it's got the 360-degree sensors, ESA radar, it could see everywhere all at once kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's pretty, robust.
Yeah, that's the first time I noticed it had the shoulder heater.
Yeah. Well, and that pod, those were the big missiles. So those are, that it's supposed to be capable to carry the hypersonics and the real big.
What was in the bay?
It was
something orange, right? Two orange.
Yeah.
I watched the video before the show and I tried to zoom in. I'm like, I have no idea what's in there, but that's a pretty big airplane.
Was that not the Kinzhal? Like
it's some, if it's a missile, it's a big one because the Su-57 is a pretty large airplane. And that weapons bay it's not small.
Yeah, it can carry the KH-58 anti-radiation missile, the KH-38 universal air-to-ground missile, the GROM, which is a wing kit for that, and then the prototype air-to-surface missile similar to the Kinzhal is under development, or the miniaturized Zircon. I bet it says it in that link.
I don't think so, man. I think it just says, hey, you can see the bay doors open, or I think it's pretty generic, but that's something you hear whenever the air show happens. We'll probably get more on that, man, because I think this is the second image or video that they've released of the weapons bay, which everybody seems to be all really intrigued about. In my mind, it's like, well, it's a weapons bay is a weapons bay.
Yeah, it doesn't say in there. All right, well, cool. Let's see. Spider says Mover has to talk aliens with Trump for anything. That's actually a different guest. Mad Max says that is a T-50, which is a prototype model, and the guy flying it is like 63 years old. Yeah. Breaking news: small turboprop crashed shortly after takeoff Monday morning in Coral Springs, Florida. Was headed to Jamaica.
Yeah, we saw that, man. It's King Air. It's very sad.
Very sad, especially since they were doing, trying to do charitable
humanitarian.
thing.
Yeah.
All right, Gonky.
Oh yeah, Wombat. I'm glad you're on for this one.
Oh, the hate mail finally stopped.
Yeah. So the Chinese Navy they just commissioned their Fujian carrier. So we've talked about it in the past.
Oh yeah.
They had a big ceremony, which we got about a 1-minute clip here that we'll show in a minute of the ceremony. So Xi Jinping, how do you pronounce it? Xi Jinping or whatever. He came out to visit and did it a whole. There's an expanded video about 8 or 10 minutes long of his trip there, and it's pretty eye opening. We won't bore you with it, but we'll hit the highlights. But yeah, so this is the first. I guess you'd call it a super carrier. It's got electromagnetic catapults. Similar in size, is 80,000 tons. Usually the Nimitz class carriers and the new Ford is close to 100,000 tons, but they've just put this thing to sea, and they now have 3 carriers. The Chinese do that. There's 2 with the ramp. This is the only one with catapults. So the catapult gives them the ability to launch airplanes with more weapons, more fuel. So their power projection is going to be a lot stronger with this carrier. Only downfall is it is non-nuke, which means it's got a range of 8 to 10,000 miles and it needs refueled. Whereas U.S. carriers are nuke powered and they can just keep going. And really, you're limited by basically supplies for the crew and for the aircraft. But I think it's pretty incredible how quickly they brought this carrier to operation. We have 11 carriers on the U.S. side. I think India, England, and there's one other country. I think they have carriers too, but they all have 2. So China is now the second largest carrier operator in the world, and China has the largest navy in the world. And we've touched on it before, their industrial capacity. So the future, so the next carrier past this, obviously, probably have the electromagnetic catapults, and the rumor is going to be nuke powered. So this is kind of the, I don't know, I think of it as like the JFK of, yeah, there's a picture of one of their carriers with the ramp, and then the
Wow, looks like a toy. This is crazy.
Yeah, make it large, sir.
Don't dislike it.
You can.
That's as big as it gets.
Isn't it?
Okay.
Oh man, so many jokes that could be made.
Yeah, so there he is, Xi Jinping. Yeah.
Oh, he flies.
No, that wasn't him.
Oh.
That was a demo.
Oh.
He's saying they're all heroes. I want to ask Wombat a couple questions about the video.
Marching. I'd like Wombat's take on the marching.
No, dude, it's yeah. So the expanded videos is pretty unique, but it's funny, man. I watch this and I'm reminded of Asian culture, which is fine. It's different than ours. But Wombat, that so obviously, right, the helicopters look like Seahawks, the yellow coats, and all
you're
that
not
stuff.
allowed to point that out, Gonky.
Right. Their Hawkeye kind of looks like our Hawkeye.
I can neither confirm nor deny any of the comments you're making right now, but continue.
Did you notice? So even when they go inside the ship, with that clip didn't show, but it is exceptionally clean.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
new.
It's
dude,
new.
yeah.
Cookies.
Quite a spread. Exactly.
It's their yellow cake of uranium.
Yeah. Even inside, I mean, it is clean. And I bring that up because I wonder how much actual operating they've done with it, because it's not that we're dirty. It's just that, like, the carrier, that thing is just, it's working all the time.
Yes, but if you look at any of our videos, like the one, where the president went and did the Navy power demo and stuff, right? The carrier looks pretty darn good when he's there, right? So that doesn't surprise me. One, it's new, so it's easier to keep clean when it's new. Although I will say, in a lot of regards, maybe not, because the building of a ship that size just brings a lot of dirt and grime with it. But I think a lot of it is, if I was a country and I was going to put this much effort into this type of warfare for an obvious reason, I'd want it to look good. I mean, you'd be a fool not to, right? Because this is all you're going to show, right? I mean, so this is all the rest of the world's really going to see, and it's that first impression kind of thing. The thing that I find interesting is, if you go to, I don't know if you could pull it back up, but a video of the flight deck from the top. So a lot of people notice that it has 3 catapults, right? Which, okay, fine. But unlike our aircraft carriers, where you could simultaneously recover while still launching off the bow on both cats, can't do that on this one. You're limited to 1 cat, which sounds minor, but it's in a cyclic ops scenario. You talk to some of our Super Hornet buddies that may or may not have also been accidentally shot down by our own battle group. When they're doing cyclic ops, you're launching and recovering at the same time, and the layout of our carrier is specifically designed for that. You're down to 1 cat, and here comes the issue is, as you know, Gonky, you've spent a lot of time on aircraft carriers. The thing that I find funny about Hollywood is is a lot of times when they make movies about the Navy, some of it is so grossly wrong, but some of the things, the little subtleties are so grossly right. And if you think back to the original Top Gun and, you know, how they're intercepting these aircraft in the opening scene, and, you know, it's like, we need to launch more planes, we need to launch. And it's like, you know, both cats are down. It's going to be 10 minutes, right? That's a famous thing. This is going to be over in 2 minutes. Get on it, right? Like, everybody remembers that. That's not abnormal. So if you have an aircraft carrier where you're trying to recover planes and now you only have one workable bow cat anyway, and something happens, you know, it's all about redundancy at sea, because you're in an environment that's saltwater, that's just hard on everything, right? And that's that. So to me, that was one of the things I thought of immediately, like, ooh,
Yeah.
okay, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be an issue they're going to have to figure out. And that's not an easy issue to figure out. And I don't know why they did that. But you know, there's definitely a reason. Forget the 3 catapults. Don't care. I mean, I do care, but don't care as much about that. But the geometry of the flight deck, that's a big one. That's going to make some big differences.
You bring up a good point. I can't remember the numbers exactly, but the sortie generation rate that they think this carrier is capable of is like roughly 75% of what the U.S. carriers are. And you're right. You can see clearly, man, the
number 2, you're not.
Yeah. It's on the foul line. Yeah. For so the angle part of the deck is where they would do the recovery, and then the 2 lines up front here are basically the 2 catapults, and the one on, at least on my screen, the apparent right would put you in the space of airplanes trying to recover. So you're right, man. That's a good observation. There's only really one catapult available
you can launch from,
for launching while recovering, and that would severely that would cut it in half, right? I mean,
I mean, really, because remember, you could launch on ours every you know, however many seconds it took between, and you could just do it. I mean, we did it all the time during CQ.
Right.
I mean, remember CQ, you would go out, you'd trap, you'd turn right, you'd either turn right out of the LA and you're either going right back to the cat, or you're going
that's true,
to get gas and then go to the cat. So I mean, you know, you take away one of those catapults, that's going to significantly slow down that operation, in my opinion. And then I know people joke, and look, all jokes aside, like, building an aircraft carrier, whether it's from scratch, not from scratch, it doesn't matter. Like, it's no small feat. Like, that's a huge ship. And I know, you know, the goal is eventually it'll be nuclear powered, but having a non-nuclear powered aircraft carrier, I don't think people that haven't been to sea can really appreciate how much of a support network you really need for that thing to do anything. I mean, anything, because, you know, like, you kind of joked that, or didn't joke, but you're like, you know, in the Navy, you're limited by supplies for the crew and all that, which, oh, by the way, if it hits the fan, nobody cares about supplies for the crew. They're just going to go, and they'll catch up with the logistics chain later. Like, you know, us having hard packed ice cream was the least of their concerns when it was time to hammer down and go. Right. I mean,
well, dude, to refuel a carrier, man, they got to slow down. They got to pull another ship up next to it. Like, to resupply the crew, it's like, just fly the COD 24/7 until we have enough ice cream.
Yeah. Or don't worry about it, because they'll figure it out. Right. But yeah, it is huge. And remember now, additionally, if you're doing that, where you've got to slow down and refuel, you're not doing cyclic ops while you're doing it. You're not launching and recovering airplanes while you're doing it, likely. Right. So you've now limited some of its battle effectiveness already because of the catapult and the flight deck layout. But now, if you've got to refuel because of, you know, that, well, now are we doing any flight ops? Well, no. Okay. Well, you know, and in a wartime scenario, like, the carrier's ability to just keep operating is huge. So while I think they've come a massively long way, and I have no doubt that they are going to continue to go far with this, I think there's going to be a lot of lessons learned in the real world use of this aircraft carrier.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind the next one will probably be nuke, and it will probably address all this all these things we're talking about, but I don't know, man. I mean, it's still amazing to me how far they've come in a short amount of time with everything. Really.
Oh, 100%. Hats off to that. That is, I mean, they are. So
Mover as a land lover, primarily.
Not one golf course in that whole flight.
I think there's a bowling alley or a massage parlor.
It's diesel.
Yeah.
Don't put DEF in the tank.
Don't put DEF.
hey, Mover, don't give out secrets. Come on, man. Don't. You put DEF in that tank.
It's great for fuel economy.
Could you imagine ships down?
Justin says the PLAN, are putting ships out at ludicrous speed. And while their tech is always and still does lag behind ours, their stuff is getting better. And the more they figure out how to improve the stuff they were forced to develop.
Yep.
I agree. And then Midnight Oil says new ships are never this clean in the Navy. They're rusting during commissioning ceremony.
Dude, that's fact. That's why I'm like, this thing is too clean. They're not using it.
Wow. Or they're just cleaner than we are.
Dude, I don't know, man.
Maybe
I mean, when I say
they have them out with the toothbrushes, scrubbing after every launch.
When I say a carrier is dirty, I mean it's like grease that lubricates everything. It's like
well, you don't need grease when you've got electromagnetic.
Dude, you do. Like there's
what do you think about that? So President Trump went to the birthday celebration, and the first thing he does when he comes back, he's like, "Hey, no more electromagnetic cats. I've decreed via executive order, we're gonna go steam." What do you think?
Wombat, you go ahead first, dude.
So I had a very smart great uncle. I've talked about him on the show, and I have very fond memories of him. Very smart guy, and he's a Marine, and did some stuff, with some big brain stuff. And I remember once we were talking, and I was just a kid, and I was like, Uncle Jim, I want to be a Navy pilot. This was before I was still too young to really know what that meant. Like, this is just me living off of the idea of, Top Gun and riding my Huffy bike around, listening to the soundtrack on my Walkman. For the younger group in here, you can Google all of that because you'll have no idea what any of that means. But I was just, I was like, wow, that'd be so cool. Like, and I remember him saying, he goes, you'll do it one day. I know you will. He goes, but if they ever try to strap you to a magnet to launch, get out. And this was long before anything that you or I or anybody ever heard about electromagnetic catapults or anything like that.
Did you say why? Did you ask him why?
Nah, I was too young. I was just like, okay. Like,
magnets, how do they work?
Magic.
So, I mean, I have tons of catapult shots and tons of different aircraft. And I mean, minus one or two that were like, they were all pretty darn good. You know what I mean? Like there's maybe one or two in the Hornet and definitely one in the Hawkeye where I was like, okay, there might have been a little bubble in the steam or however that works. I was a business major, but for the most part, they were very, very consistent. And I understand that, people that are smart on electromagnetic technology are going to write me and tell me that, I'm horrible and all the other nice things I get in emails and threaten my family and fun stuff like that, which is good. I really appreciate all those. Look, I'm just telling you, like, steam catapults have worked for a really, really long time and they work. That's not to say that there's not something better out there. It's just, it's hard when history works that long. It's a tall task to beat it, and you're not going to beat it quickly. You're going to have a track record that's consistent, and I just don't think it's there yet.
Yeah, dude, I don't know all the nerd engineering stuff behind it, but like I said a couple weeks ago, like I've never experienced any kind of catapult problems. And anytime maybe the cat was down, they fixed it immediately.
Very quick.
They seem to be very reliable. I know they talk about the electric ones, electromagnetic ones are easier on the airplanes, but the steam powered catapults, they actually do like modulate the cat stroke compared to even the older steam ones.
Sure.
So I was told.
Yeah, the older ones, from what I heard, were pretty brutal.
Very violent, right? And then it may be a cost to performance thing as well. I mean, it's the magnet one is 1% better, but it's going to cost us a good $1 man. I don't know, and I don't know like from a military standpoint, like redundancy, like in wartime situation, which one would be better to have? But I don't know, Wombat. If your big brain uncle says no magnets, I'm inclined.
I will never forget that, man. It was funny.
It.
It's one of my childhood memories that I was like,
yeah.
And then it's funny because you fast forward to when we were in, or when I was finishing up, in the Ford, and I was like, oh shoot. I was like, Uncle Jim. I'm like, it's like, you just, I don't know, man. I know nothing about them. It's cool, I guess. It's a different technology, but I know that I've operated off steam catapults, and things like, as the operator, I don't really care,
right?
If it's harder on the airplane, as long as it works. Like if it shortens the life of the airplane, that's not my problem, because I just need it till the end. Like, it's like, well, this plane can now go for another 20 years. Well, I'm not going to be in, because most likely naval leadership's going to piss me off. I'm going to get out anyway. Like, I care about this next 100 feet. Like,
well, like the last video that we covered, we talked a little bit about that. A lot of the fanboys were bagging on the US because this Chinese carrier is the first one to use electromagnetic catapults to launch 5th gen aircraft. And I along your point, it's like, cool. Don't care, man. Like, yeah. I don't care if you're using rubber bands to launch airplanes. Does it launch airplanes? Yes. Is it reliable? Yes. So
yeah. It's the same thing with everybody, right? Like, you could have a car that has 700 horsepower, and then the next guy has 710, and you're like, yeah, well, I guess mine's a piece of garbage now. Dude, everybody's trying to one up everybody. It's fine. So
Cole Sim says, hey guys, been a long time viewer and fan. Question, I guess, to Gonky. I'm 25 and ready to get my first bike. Got the MSF and want your recommendation. Want to go to the track, but also like off-road. Also tips for parents being mad.
I assume you're talking about a street bike, man. I'm a big fan of Hondas. So any of your Hondas, I would stay off the sport bikes, because, well, they can go faster than you can go. Remember, you had a sport bike, right?
Suzuki.
One time. Yeah. So I've ridden them, and I've never owned one, because I realized right away, even though I've been riding motorcycles 6.5, like, very quickly I'll die on this thing. But anyways, big fan of Honda motorcycles.
Not sponsored unless Honda wants to.
Sponsored unless they want to. Yeah. Yeah. Track days are cool for street bikes. It's very expensive. But fun. Dirt bikes are even more fun, cheaper to go to track days on dirt bikes. And I think riding dirt bikes teaches you a lot of safety skills that transfer over to riding a street bike. And for your parents being mad, man, that's over to you and your parents.
You're a grown-ass man.
You're
25 years old.
Here's the thing, man. Do the smart thing. Wear a helmet most of the time. And
hold on. Wear a helmet. Don't be like Gonky. Like, the guy can't remember his butt from the hole in the ground. Like, wear a helmet, dude.
Full
like,
face, everything. Wear your dragon jeans and your jacket, but also move out.
There's a couple things here. That's one, wear the safety equipment. 2, get as much training as you can, and never outride your level of training and experience, right? It's easy to do on a sport bike, more so than like an old man Harley. Trust me, I've had them both. Dirt bikes are cool, but only if they're 2-stroke KTMs. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Zig says, late to the show, but I'll be watching the replay. Luna Treats and Tomcats.
Oh, nice. Tomcats. Look at that. S3s. Nice, man.
Look at that. Code Monkey says, Gonky and Mover landed on a foreign carrier. We are not invited. I guarantee you. You thought the Gettysburg was bad? The Fujian would shoot us down well before we got into the stack.
It's true. Valid.
True.
Modular 182 says, in honor of my uncle, Colonel Dan Rakestraw, 69 Academy grad, flew F-4s in Vietnam, was an F-16 squadron commander at Luke, later was a DO of the NRA.
Wow.
Currently in hospice due to cancer. I'm so sorry.
Oh, wow,
That's
man.
terrible.
That
Cancer
sucks.
sucks.
Cancer sucks. All right, Gonky. So we got an update. There was nope, that's the wrong one. We got an update in New York at LaGuardia. There was a mishap in which Endeavor Air, doing business as Delta Connection Flight 5155 on October 1st, 2025, a CL600 RJ or CRJ 900 collided with Endeavor Air. Insert the Spider-Man meme because now we're just it's friendly fire. Hit another CRJ 900. So two of the same. At the intersection of Taxiway Mike and Alpha at LaGuardia, New York, New York. Two pilots, two flight attendants, 28 passengers on one flight attendant sustained minor injuries, no injuries on the two pilots, two flight attendants, 57 passengers on board 5047. The crew and passengers both were deplaned via the main cabin stairs and bus to the terminal. So it was scheduled, blah, 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 and they were taxiing to the terminal on Taxiway Bravo. 5155 had pushed back from the gate at LaGuardia and were taxiing to Taxiway Alpha. 5047 exited Taxiway Bravo and had turned on the Taxiway Mike when it was struck at the right wing of Flight 5155 at the intersections of Taxiway Mike and Alpha. In response to the accident, NTSB launched a GO team. The history of the flight: they landed on runway 4, exited the runway on Taxiway Golf. The ground controller instructed 5047 to taxi on Taxiway Bravo to Taxiway Mike and on to lane 12 in the gate area, which would require 5047 to cross Taxiway Alpha from Mike. The crew of Flight 5047 read back the instructions. 5155 contacted ground controller and stated they were in lane 17 of the gate area. The ground controller subsequently instructed 5155 to runway 13 via Taxiway Alpha to Echo, hold short of runway 4 and to give way to another Endeavor Air airplane at Taxiway Mike. 5155 crew read back the ground controller's instructions. At this time, 5047 was on Taxiway Bravo at the intersection of Lima towards Taxiway Mike. Subsequently, the ground controller provided the crew of 5155 a new departure frequency, which the crew of Flight 5155 confirmed while they were still located in the gate area. Airport surveillance cameras that captured the collision showed 5047 had turned on a Taxiway Mike moving south and 5155 moving east on Taxiway Alpha. 5047 abruptly stopped as it approached the intersection with Taxiway Alpha, and about 2 seconds later, the right wing of 5155 collided with the nose of 5047. 5047 appeared to turn to the left about 1 second prior to the collision. There it is, graphically depicted for all the things that didn't make sense as you were saying it. So there's 5047 Taxiway Bravo and 5155 and Taxiway Mike. So they then requested emergency vehicles. CVR and FDR were recovered. Of course,
it's not going to buff out.
Yeah.
No.
And that's the post-accident examination of 5047 found substantial damage to the nose and captain's windshield. Post-accident examination of 5155, substantial damage to the outboard section of the right wing, including separation of the outboard slat, aileron, and wingtip. There you go.
Wow.
Post-accident interviews of the crew of Flight 5047 revealed that arrival in the LaGuardia was uneventful. Estimated their taxi speed was about 9 knots, or no faster than a man can trot. Flight crew recalled nothing unusual about the taxi instructions from the controller. The captain slowed the plane to turn on the Taxiway Mike. The first officer leaned forward to clear the right side of the airplane at the time. As they made the turn on the Taxiway Mike, the captain was focused on clearing lane 12, but saw another airplane to his left and brought the airplane to a stop. A few seconds later, the right wing of 5155 impacted the nose and windshield of Flight 5047. Post-accident interviews of the other crew in 5155 revealed that after pushback from the gate, both engines were turned on for taxi. First officer recalled hearing the full taxi clearance and recalled it was not confusing. Oof. The captain of Flight 5155 recalled hearing the taxi clearance up to holding short of runway 4 and did not recall hearing the instruction to give way to the other Endeavor airplane. Captain stated he was focused on calculating performance numbers for landing at ROA. 5155 started his taxi while taxiway on Alpha. The flight crew accomplished the taxi checklist. First officer called the checklist step and the captain verifying the step. The captain recalled he was looking down the cockpit to visually verify the airplane trim setting as part of the checklist. When he looked up and saw the other flight to the right, he attempted to veer left and they ran into each other, but he did hit the brakes. There's your information for the wreckage and the crew. That's your advantage. I told you, Gonky. Did I not say this? I said they were looking down.
You did, yeah. Which
did I not say this?
Blows me away because, you know,
this is nighttime, right? It's nighttime.
Yeah. Where I'm at, like, I mean, unless you have a runway change, like, we're both like,
you're done with all the stuff by the time you start.
Yeah, all the performance stuff is done. Everything's loaded.
Wombat, I don't think you were on when we were talking about this. Gonky, you can back me up on this. When do you get your load closeout?
Before we leave the gate. Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah. Before we push.
You can. I've had a very small amount of times where we push without numbers. Very small.
Looks like.
Well, hold on now. Does your low closeout include your flight attendants manually counting heads and the gate agent talking to you up front?
No.
Or does it come through the magic of the
FMC?
And
we have extra layers of safety.
No.
Yeah, it comes through.
Okay, listen. I do fly world's largest low budget regional airline, I guess. And so we do some things wonky, but not as wonky as what Gonky does. I was just saying in the last one that they were heads down doing something probably checklist related. Gonky could not believe that was possible.
I'm like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Like doing a load closeout and performance numbers. I mean,
takeoff numbers or something.
The only it's part of the checklist, like part of the
Gonky, let the professional speak. Let the professional speak.
It is rare. But what I see, and I mean, I'm not familiar. I mean, I saw the pictures when it happened, and I was like, sucks to be an RJ because they've been having some rough. It's been a rough year if you're an RJ. Let's put it that way. But most of the time, our ops are, you get it well beforehand. You get all the numbers. You're loading them, either before pushback or on the pushback. When you're hooked up to the tug, what do you mean? How are we loading?
How do you
them?
get it before? Like, what do you close the door and just sit there?
No, but I mean, the closeout from the gate agent has the number of people on it, and you get the people up there, and then you get the people down here that have the bags, and then some magic happens and some numbers spit out at us, and somehow I trust those numbers, and that's that. So, sometimes we get the WDR before the door's closed. So
must be nice.
It's not bad. As was once said in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, if you have the means, I highly recommend it. But occasionally we'll get a stay at gate for WDR if we're a weird load, or we have procedures that we do with our flaps and stuff if we don't get our numbers, So if we don't get a stay at gate for WDR, we can push legally with just the pre-push.
What's this? Stay at the gate, WD-40? What are we doing?
WDR. So you'll, in the pre-push message, which is usually about 10 minutes prior to push, it'll have, any MELs you have, your flight number, all that, what runways you're expecting. And then it also will say if you're abnormal, it'll say stay at gate for WDR. Meaning we cannot push until we have our WDR. Otherwise, we could go, and if we still don't have the numbers after engine start, we have a default flaps 2 that we set the flaps at. So at least the flaps are in the ballpark of something as we're taxiing from a safety measure. And then, but we obviously can't take off without numbers. So is it possible to be heads down, taxiing, etc.? Yes, but it's massively rare. And we also have procedures for that, to where if I were to get those numbers mid-taxi at night, I'd either stop to look at them, or I'm going to make sure we're on a straight taxiway, that I know where things are. FO is going to load the numbers and review them, hand me the WDR, I'm going to hand him the aircraft because I can do that in an Airbus, and he's going to, or she's going to taxi while I do it. So there's still going to be somebody that's 100% heads out. I would probably, I mean, I'm not going to Monday morning quarterback it, but I'm very familiar with that part of LaGuardia. I'm probably not doing it at that part of LaGuardia because frankly, I hate that part of LaGuardia. It's very tight quarters. We fly 321s in there, and I can't stand taxiing in that area because it's just so compact with all the lines, and there's just planes coming out of everywhere. I'm heads out 100%, especially at night. So it stinks. They made a mistake. I'm glad that more people weren't hurt. Hopefully the flight attendant's okay. I'm glad everybody survived it. Sometimes the Swiss cheese lines up, you know what I mean? It stinks, but there's gonna be a lot of training, I'm sure. And you know,
well, I just learned that the other half does it better. And it might be an Airbus versus Boeing thing, because we got the takeoff data and bugs we got to check, and it's like weight, winds, and temperatures, and comparing everything. And
maybe that, but I mean, I'm pretty sure our Boeing guys still get their WDRs before they push most of the time.
Well, well, yeah, that'd make things a lot easier.
Yeah, we aim to make things easier.
Not us. No, we hate ourselves and our pilots. Everyone is hated.
We try to make it easier.
Perfect.
So we try to double bubble wrap everything that we can, you know, which we do a lot. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but
it's because of the hats.
Can't be a pilot without my hat. So it's just the way.
Okay, Gonky, you got thoughts on this?
I rest my case, sir.
You didn't rest your case. I was right. That's what they were doing. Look, I fly for the world's largest regional, and so therefore I can empathize. You guys in your first world, we do everything at the gate. Listen, get down in the trenches and do stuff while you're taxiing like a man.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, Mover. In your defense, I would love to be paid while I'm doing all that stuff. So I mean, maybe you guys are doing it right. You know, I mean,
well,
let's be honest.
We taxi at 4 knots. When you taxi at 4 knots, it's a lot easier to do stuff. And that's probably why we taxi at 4 knots, is because we're so busy doing all the stuff because we can't afford to get it at the gate.
Nothing about safety.
When does Southwest get theirs? They must get it before they sign in for the trip.
They don't even
how fast they taxi.
They don't even need the information. You know what? If it takes off, it takes off. If not, we'll land on a bridge or a highway. It's fine.
They know flaps 2 and toga works most of the time, so let's just roll with it.
True. That's true. They're pretty much at rotation speed.
What's a D rate
anyway? So
yeah, we don't TO1. We're just going.
Man,
perfect.
Awesome. For legal reasons.
I'm glad it's all.
We love you, Southwest. Please don't put us in your training video again.
Again.
You guys were in their training video.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Exactly. It was the don't end up on these news channels, and it had our stupid faces.
When we're clearly not the news
collage of news.
Good for you guys.
And we were laughing.
I remember when you guys were just starting out, and look at you now.
Now we were sandwiched between CNN and MSNBC, so it's all good.
Great, just where you want to be.
Newsworthy. Yes, equally newsworthy.
There was the View, and then us.
Yeah. Whoopi and then Gonky.
Man,
I love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Joe says Cole 250F or 250/300 and 2Ts, 3Gs, top of T, no WCs are excellent. Do not get a 450 to start, and like the guy says, get good riding gear and also move out.
Yeah,
I can't stress. You're 25, man.
Well, his parents could have an issue when he not live at the house. I mean, one of my nephews is like that. He has his own house. He's married with kids, but his parents are 100% against him riding dirt bikes.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
If you are living at home, probably, yeah.
Our pilot said, did you guys ever witness Allied planes training on our carriers? What was your impression of their skill, education, attitude? Did they get a patch?
Yes, to all of that. The French.
Bonjour.
When we operated with the Charles de Gaulle. Yeah. So they were, yeah, man.
Okay. John says, you've made it when, haha. Oh, we end up on their training thing. All right. You want to do some mental health?
Whew. Wait, no hype video?
Do we have to do the hype? It's 9:04, dude. I'm tired.
All right. Well, it's your show.
I've had enough of.
No,
Maybe we'll do it Wednesday.
No, that's aviation. We're just
man.
look, add it to the
Still
queue of
haven't-
things for the next thing. We don't.
Still haven't figured this all out. Go ahead. As you were.
As I was. Are you, Gonky? You're in charge. What do you want to do?
Dude, no, you've got your. I can see your hand is on the mouse. There you go.
Look, mental health minute. It made me think of it while we were talking, and now I've since forgotten because that's what I do. But the unfortunate tragedy that we've talked about earlier today, and some of the comments are made me think of this on the fly. I've watched, for whatever reason, somehow that's gotten into my Instagram doom scroll feed of motivational stuff, and one of them was about never giving up. And the people that are most successful are the ones that keep fighting to the end. And you hear stories of people that were right on the cusp of greatness, and they gave up right before they achieved it. And I think that plays to WOMBAT's never down, never out, is that if you quit, you'll never know what you could have done. And in the context of aviation, just like, we say fly all the way through the crash. And you were talking about that aviator that just gave up in the sim. If you quit when it's easy, in a sim, then what happens when it's real life and it's training? So, train like you fight, don't quit. I didn't hear no bell, and keep going. But I think that applies universally because we often can be our own worst enemy and give up when there's still good left to be done. And sometimes you do quit, and then you realize, well, if I'd have just done this one more thing and held out just a little bit longer, it would have gotten better. It's like going through the hurricane, right? You get through this, go through the bad storm, and then all of a sudden it's good, and then it gets bad again, but eventually it goes away. And if you just held out just a little bit longer, and that applies in life, where we talk about don't give up on life. I have talked about this. I went through some of the worst times in 2022, 2021, 2023, and it was a rough patch. And thanks to having a good support network, good friends, that I didn't quit and I didn't give up. Although as tempting as it could have been to quit fighting, I made it to the other side. And in making it to the other side, I wrote a different story than if I'd have just ended it there and quit there. So much better story. And I think you and anyone watching and anyone listening have that opportunity, because it's not written yet. That the third act is not written yet. And you hold the pen. You have the ability to make that happen. So don't quit, because it could still get better, and you have to hold out that little bit of hope. But if you're thinking about quitting, whether it's life or whatever, talk to somebody, talk to a friend, talk to 988 mental health, military one source, any counselor, any, chaplains, just talk to somebody before you give up, because, when you give up, you lose the opportunity to succeed. Gonky?
Yeah, I think in anything, and it's a personal belief I have in life. In anything, you may win, you win some, you lose some, but you are guaranteed to lose if you quit. So, like, in my own mind, I've always thought, I'm gonna see this thing then. Like, whether I'm in a dirt bike race and I'm 2 turns behind the guy ahead of me, I'm giving 110%, because you just never know if he's going to mess up in the last corner and you're going to get him. If it's flying an airplane, like we talked about with the UPS guys, like if you quit, it's not going to end up well. If you give 100%, it might, right? So, I mean, I've applied that to really anything I've ever done in life. I mean, I remember when I was little, I remember just thinking about like I had a lot of health problems when I was young. I had asthma and all kinds of stuff. And I just getting tired of going to the doctor. And when I started thinking about taking care of my health at a pretty young age, because I did spend a lot of time going to the doc, I just remember thinking, I'm just going to go to the gym with my dad and exercise. I'm just never going to quit, because if I never quit, wherever I end up is going to be better than just quitting right now and just giving up. Right. That was my mentality back then, and that served me well. So everything you said is valid, man. If it's, if you're thinking about quitting on life, obviously that's a permanent solution to, a problem that I know can be fixed. So, but yeah, man, never give up, man. Never, ever. Wombat.
Man, I mean, I'll echo what you guys have said. It's, the storm analogies, everybody in life, no matter where they're at, they're either going through a storm, about to go through a storm, or just came out of a storm. That's life, right? I mean, it's never going to just be awesome forever. If it is, frankly, you're not living it, because you're not putting yourself out there. You guys know it's been a particularly interesting stretch for me. I haven't been on the show for a while. And a lot of the reason I haven't been on is because I feel like with everything going on in the background, it's hard for me to sit here and give advice and not feel a little phony. Because, you could sit there and talk about never down, never out, and not giving up and all these things. But when you're truly faced with it, which I have been, I mean, people that have heard my past know that, this is not just a catchphrase that came because of the things that I've been through. And it came from somebody else. I didn't even come up with it. Somebody that knew me really well. And that's great, because that stuff's all in the past, and I had gotten myself through all that stuff. Where it gets difficult is now you build this whole fake, social media persona, right? To where, and you guys know, and everybody who's watching knows, I mean, you feel like people better because you watch them on social media, and it's, you've created this almost alter ego. And then you get hit with something that's not easy. And you stumble a bit and you go, okay, well, that's fine. I'm through it. And you get hit with something else and something else and something else, and you get in these situations where, we've all heard, oh, bad things happen in threes, or, I was joking with my wife a couple of days ago, and I was like, how many threes do we need before we're past this wave of stuff that's been going on? But the reality of it is that I don't know what the future holds. None of us do, right? We have no idea. And just like those pilots who went to work that day had no idea, none of us do. And frankly, if we did, life wouldn't be worth living, because could you imagine if you knew, what the last line was? I mean, you wouldn't want to get up. You'd have no desire to do anything. So you have to take every breath and take every moment like it's your last, and it's your opportunity to give it your all, to finish the story. And it's hard sometimes to come on and to have that mentality. And today it would have been very easy. You guys both know I'm usually either in or I'm out, right? When I do the show, it's not, I don't make a game time decision. And today was a game time decision, and it would have been very easy for me to not log in, and sit on the couch and watch TV with my wife and go to bed early and get some sleep that I need desperately. But to me, that was giving up tonight, because I knew coming on here, one, I'd surround myself with you guys. I had no idea what we were going to talk about, which is no different than any time I come on here, because there will be zero prep for me, as you know, and I will continue to do that going forward. But I knew that ultimately me not facing this would be me giving up, and I needed to just come on and be a part of it, and be honest that, hey, it hasn't been a good stretch. It sucked. But we all have that. you know, and the problem is we live in a world these days where we go on social media and most people don't admit to that, right? Because nobody wants to hear negativity. Well, let me take that back. A lot of people want to hear, nobody wants to hear the sadness, right? They've got their own sadness. So they don't go on social media seeking out sadness. They go on social media looking for the people that have changed their lives and that are taking charge of what they're doing, and that everything's perfect and every workout's perfect. And here's their meal prep on how they got skinny and how their jobs are great and their relationships are great. And I remember a person telling me one day that, you know, the people that you should be most worried about their relationship and their marriage are the ones that post the most about how great it is. And I think that applies to damn near everything in life, right? If you're posting constantly about how great an aspect of your life is, there's a fair chance you're trying to fool everybody and yourself. So when you see these people, don't look at their highlight reel and compare it to what you're going through in the day to day, because everybody's going through something. Some people are just confident enough to admit it. But the end of the day is just like Mover said, and Gonky said, like, you know, if you give up on whatever it is that give up, whether it's the ultimate give up, which again, we've addressed that, and please call somebody, reach out to somebody, you're not alone, or just you have given up on whatever the task, and it could be as big or as simple. Your goal, you want to write a book, you want to lose weight, you want to have better relationships, or you just want to go work out, or you just want to put down alcohol, or you want to be a better employee, or you want to become an employer. Whatever that smaller goal is, if you give up on that, you have no idea where you could have gone. And the problem with that is, I believe, for what it's worth, that one day, you know, we'll find out what it's all about, and we'll find out what our true purpose is on this planet. And every one of us, I believe, that are still here have not reached their purpose. And what I fear is I don't want to learn what my purpose was supposed to be on this planet and it not measure up to what I ever did. And if you're going to give up on your goals, if you're going to give up on what you're shooting for, whatever that is, small or big, and you're not afraid a little bit of that day of judgment where you don't meet your purpose, I don't think you're looking at it right. I think you need to look at that and go, what am I really here for? Not on the superficial level, not on the what I want to achieve. What's the bigger picture here? And I don't want to be a person that reaches that day and goes, man, I could have been X, Y, and Z. I was supposed to be X, Y, and Z, but I quit one step before it. That was the game changer. So keep taking those steps forward every day. Some days those steps are a hell of a lot harder than other days. You know, some days you feel light and airy and you got flip-flops and board shorts on and life's good and there's a breeze at your back. And other days it's gale force winds in your face and you're carrying a 100-pound pack in boots that don't fit right and you're stepping in cement. But each step is equally important, and you've got to take those steps. It's the only way. It's your only option. And until you have that mentality to where it's your only option, I think you're limiting yourself ultimately.
Douglas?
Yeah, a lot of what Wombat said especially really resonated for me. I don't know if I thought this up on my own or if I read it somewhere, but it's hard to see it when you're in it. It comes to mind. And if you pay attention when you're not stressed out and when you're not struggling, you'll notice every day things where you could have just quit and you went on to succeed. And if you remember those when times are hard or when times are hard for somebody else, that can help, you know, having some examples. Wow, that was a little thing, but I kept at it. And that'll take you one step ahead when the big things are happening. In racing, we don't say flying, we say driving. Always drive as far as you can into the crash. And I cannot tell you the number of times where I thought I had it right to the last minute and I lost it. But I can also not tell you the number of times I thought I lost it, and I had it after all. And that's what you need to remember when it gets tough.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Best science fiction movie ever.
Never surrender.
Never give up. Never surrender. Never give up. Never surrender. Oh, shut up. No. Never give up.
Congratulations, mover. We're now demonetized.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Levity.
Perfect, dude. Perfect.
All right, let's end this thing. John says, "Oh my God, John."
John, wow.
I need to do all that. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's courage to continue the counts. Winston Churchill. Happy Veterans Day to all of you. Buy your favorite beverage on me.
Thank you.
John would not tell us how he does it. We asked him in so many words.
Durzara says our mental health is better when Wombat goes on a rampage, as they are known to do. Joe would like to know, was spicy cheese involved with the French?
Pepper Jack.
We have video of Gonky ordering his sandwich this weekend, and he got it right.
He tried sneaky, man. They were trying to get me in the act, but I practiced.
Yeah, that's all he did. He knew nothing about his actual military job, but he knew that when it came time to order his sandwich at 11 a.m. on Saturday,
kind of sandwich? Pepper Jack. I mean,
pepper jack. He didn't even know what was on. What about the meat? Doesn't matter. Pepper jack.
I didn't star it, but there was a comment that said that electromagnetic catapults cut down. Oh, there it is. There you go, they're going to save you.
If you'd watch the show,
I mean, I should start.
Holly Movie Star says, "Good news, Gonky. Emails helps lessen cat brain."
Well, too late for Gonky.
Too late for me.
Dude, Gonky does not have cat shot brain. He has a history of CTE from his childhood.
What's CTE? I don't even know.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's just one of those things.
All right. Listen, there's enough of that for today.
Thanks, everybody.
See you guys next time.
Thanks, Wombat.
Thank you, Wombat. Yes,
yeah,
Wombat. Thank you for being part of the show. We hope your stuff turns around.
Yeah, man.
We hope that we helped you turn your stuff around. Don't give up.
Can't.
Yeah. Also be more like Gonky.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Night, folks.